I'm never chill.
And we're live.
Okay.
Let's see.
Guys.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. I'm gonna bring Rainy again. I'm just gonna Homestuck calls.
What page are you on again?
We're on C6. Also, I'm gonna call Ranny's actual cell phone and
get her the fuck in here.
I'm gonna get her the fuck in
Am I
here,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciated very much.
Alright, I have to go through contacts. I have not called her recently. Under my R's,
the Homestuck 2 site trying to find it.
Under my R's, I have Ranny and Rodriguez Bikes.
Bikes.
Okay, I'm
Last
calling
name
Ranny.
Bikes.
Not gonna put it on speaker, but I'm still calling her.
Sweetness.
Thunder, 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 thunder.
Lightning and the thunder.
Only person for me under RA is R Microsoft.
Motherfucker, answer me. I'm calling again.
Turns out she changed her phone number.
I will be very upset. Do you have her current phone number?
Me? No. I know, I was saying it as a joke. I don't actually know if she...
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
Do you want me to retweet your stream announcement so we'll actually have viewers?
Fuck you! Yes, I would like that, thank you.
Fuck you! Yes, I would like that.
Would you like me to retweet as well?
Sure.
No.
I guess I have
Okay.
a fucking duty then.
I mean, you're the one who offered. I don't care if you say no to your own offer.
Oh.
Hadron, sorry.
Yes.
Confused the fuck out of me.
Well, I know. I've just decided to never post any more Homestuck stuff ever again. If you don't want to follow me on Twitter, that's...
Oh. I'm sorry, June. I only just saw your Dragon Quest thing.
I sent Ranny, I said, you are committing a war crime by not joining the call. I hope you understand.
Alright, you've been fucking retweeted, you shite.
Your actions have consequences.
I don't know if they put nonsense.
What do you want? That your actions have consequences?
And I'm sending her a screen cap I took of Jake Paul trending, and I'm saying this is what you did. I'm gonna send everything I just sent in the group chat.
This one, where she can see that you're sending it to the group chat?
Yes, I don't care.
Yes, I don't care.
Your actions have consequences. This is what you
Where?
did.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh
right
fuck! I'm probably gonna get a boost because you boosted it, Sky.
Yeah.
I like the find us on YouTube button right below the stream. It's just fucking. It's just a real close up on the combo face.
I made that.
Yes, and I am very happy for it, even today.
Beautiful.
I could make that better now, even though I'm not using ray tracing.
I thought the lighting was very weird and dark, but I liked the vibe that gave off.
That was the vibe I was going for, so.
Well, good, because I ended up liking it.
Well, good.
But,
That's
wait.
definitely what happened.
Is it like a Sonic Dirk Nabbit?
No, it's a Sonic OC. I don't think I have the original image, especially not this computer. Well,
So are you ready to unlock more epilogue?
So Ranny seems to be at work.
You can't unknow this knowledge once you have it.
Oh god, I painfully am aware. So it looks like
Yeah, after
Ranny is or was at work. I'm waiting for... Okay, she'll be home in half an hour. Yeah, that works.
Quick, we have to make conversation for half an hour while
Or
we
we have
wait.
to fill an entire podcast worth of talking until
Hell
we read
yeah! Hell yeah!
That's fine. I'll
The
just spend half an
Chilean
hour
miners.
on Sonic movie. That's awesome.
Rising from the ground.
You know what? That probably is not what is actually happening.
So I just need a... I'm waiting for just a second longer. Oh, there's so many people here to disappoint.
You gotta read something. They're watching.
Hey, you
Fuck.
gotta read fucking something.
Okay, so this is my new Ocean Falls Let's Play.
Oh,
Right, right.
Oh my
Continue.
god.
Continue. Go ahead.
No.
What?
No.
You lie?
Read Fackstuck.
Read Ocean Falls.
Okay.
Read Homestuck 2. Just skip to Homestuck 2.
We're gonna read this still.
True
We're just gonna recap. We're just gonna give a recap to Randy when she gets home. No, Tyrant, I can't disappoint you. It would be too much. Keep in mind, I am gonna be eating my chicken sandwich every now and then because I have not had dinner.
Professionalism.
Oh, I'm a real professional.
You have 8 people watching. That's enough to fill like a picnic table of audience.
I was late and lost and got lost on the way home, so I think I classify as a professional.
How'd you get lost?
I'm a professional voice actor, VA.
Here's what happened. I used Google Maps to get to Popeyes, and then I thought I knew my way back, and I didn't. I think I turned a couple streets too early on the way back, and so I started realizing, wait, I'm in a part of town I don't recognize. Where the fuck am I? Or how the fuck did I get here? How do I get home now? And so I turned on Google Maps anyway.
You know, why do cars even have screens? Your phone's just a screen. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start now. I've shared my screen on Discord, so we're all good to go.
All right.
No one is answering the door to Jake's mansion, so Jane lets herself in. There is almost no crime on Earthsea, and so almost no one locks their door. In fact, most doors do not have locks, which has been terribly unfair to the struggling locksmith industry. Once, at John's 18th birthday, Dave Strider engaged Jane in a shockingly aggressive debate about the economy, in which he accused her of supporting, quote, neoliberal corporate welfare, for pointing out this exact problem, which was, well, such a baffling incident that Jane is still thinking about it at absolutely random intervals 5 years later. She has an honorary business degree from almost every university on the planet. Dave hasn't even finished middle school. What does he know about the effective and ethical rigors of corporate bailouts? Well, Jane thinks with a heavy sigh, now that she's not running for president, it doesn't really matter, does it? Who wants to do Jane? Got it. Jake?
I'm gonna do Jake. We're all waiting for Jake.
God damn.
I'm not.
Oh, I know you're gonna do a good Jake. I just got a message with the Sonic movie meme. Cool. The Homestuck Epilogue is my favorite non-canon fanfiction. Yes, that is exactly what it is. There is no joke there. It's a completely unironic statement, and it's the only way I can sleep at night.
Andrew Hussey for freaking
Can you do-
the ocean.
Can you do Hussy?
You're a
Andrew
mile
sets me.
away.
I couldn't understand the question. Anyway. Jake? Jane feels rather like a princess in an animated film with the way her voice echoes up 3 flights of circular staircase. The mansion is dark and cramped, tall, narrow halls, gothic arches, rooms stuffed in all corners with kitschy junk. Is that how you pronounce that? Kitschy junk?
Kitschy. It's a theme in Animal Crossing.
Oh, cool. Jake has a taste for velvet paintings, and I don't know how to pronounce that word either. God damn it. I think that's fa. I learned
more like June
faux.
attempts to
Faux.
read the epilogue.
June attempts to read the epilogues.
It's not the Homestuck content, it's the English language content.
Like faux Paul.
Faux, okay. Alright, that makes sense. And faux antique. God damn it! I knew that's what it was, it just caught me for a second. Because it
How
tastes
many
for
big words like this?
June attempts to read the epilogues.
God damn it. God damn it! Faux antique candelabras, which mesh less than harmoniously with the backdrop of his paisley wallpaper. Blue light filters in from the stained glass windows on the top floor of the foyer, where depictions of cerulean sirens lounge against surprisingly tasteful modernist backdrops. Jane calls his name again, lifting her skirt so that she can climb up the stairs one step at a time. From the second floor, she hears a sudden and awful noise. Boots scrabbling against wood, glass shattering, hard objects hitting the wall, and the unmistakable roar of a rifle firing. She sprints up the rest of the staircase and runs down the hall. Clack, 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 in her expensive but understated kitten heels. Jake, where are you? I don't know how to fucking do Jane. I'm just freestyling. The big oak door at the end of the hallway swings open, spilling orange lamplight into the darkness. Jake steps out looking ruffled but handsome in corduroy shorts and a dress shirt buttoned up to mid-sternum. There is a smudge of gunpowder on his cheek. His whole face lights up when he sees Jane.
Oh, Jane! How unexpected!
Are you alright?
What? Of course! Why wouldn't I be?
I heard a horrible noise. What was all that racket?
Oh, this?
I'm sorry, I just took a bite. Anybody? You?
Where the fuck are we? I'll figure it out. Jake grins and holds up his rifle, which is still smoking from the muzzle.
Just a little morning target practice.
You're pretty
He
close
kicks
to
the
your
door
mic,
all the
Sky.
way open.
Oh, I'm sorry, I notoriously have a loud mic.
Oh, yeah, no, it's no problem.
He kicks the door all the way open behind him to show what's up. A circular sitting room festooned with Christmas lights and paper targets. I'm still shocked that they used the word festooned, so... I thought I was misreading it just like June was. I was like, is it really festooned with Christmas lights and paper targets, all of which look as if they've been hit many times with bullets. There's a battle bot hanging out by the fireplace at the back, holding an armful of bottles and surrounded by a sea of broken glass.
You do this inside the house?
He looks at her like she's the stupid one.
Well, of course, Jane. Where else would I go to do it? Bringing these operations outside would only startle the neighbors.
Jane's mouth opens and then hangs there for a moment as she decides whether or not this particular conversation on household propriety is worth having. Sometimes Jake simply cannot be blamed for the foolish things he does. After all, he literally grew up in the woods. Instead, she enters the room and takes a seat in one of the ostentatiously cushioned... What did he say that was?
I don't know if anyone knows what that is.
Bergère. Or is it bougie? I'll call it bougie chairs. Careful to step around the puddles of cracked glass.
I must ask, Jane. It seems that you are rather frazzled. Are you sure you aren't the one who's not all right?
Jane rests her temple in her palm. Jake grabs another of his ridiculous fake Victorian chairs by the back and swivels it around so that he's sitting across from her.
Have you talked to Dirk lately?
Not exactly. I would say that I have been talked to by Dirk, but the communique has certainly not been two-sided.
Ah, yes. It seems we're in the same boat then. I haven't heard from him. I stopped by his workshop, but it was locked. If he was in there, he wouldn't come out.
Dirk was the one person on Earthsea who took the state of the locksmith industry with the seriousness it deserved. Jake scoffs and flops a hand. Both actions are dismissive.
I don't see what all the ruckus is. Our good chum Dirk fancies himself a dark and tortured soul. Cutting us off is not entirely out of his wheelhouse.
Yes, but not like this. It's been years since he's done a full blackout on us. I'm terribly worried.
You worry far too much, Jane. Life has become so peaceful on this new planet of ours that I suppose Dirk is merely tired of his idyllic life. It has either driven him permanently or temporarily insane. This voice is moving around a lot. That's my theory, at least. Maybe it's Tommy rot, but I have a faith that Dirk will be back. After all, where's he going to?
Go. You seem rather cavalier
Where's he
about all
going
this.
to go?
Yes, you seem rather cavalier about this. Like, even more cavalier than you usually are.
Jake laughs, all uneven, and runs a hand through his attractively tousled hair.
I must admit that I'm rather rats at the moment.
Rather rats.
They're half rats.
Oh, I'm just skipping words. Don't mind me.
You're what? You're only half rat?
Squeak, squeak. Sorry, that was a pretty obtuse way of putting it, wasn't it? What I mean to say is that I've been powdering my hair quite a bit today.
He makes a motion like knocking back a bottle. Jane side-eyes the idling battle bot, flushed with empty wine bottles, and then side-eyes Jake.
First thing in the morning?
Well, I need to put the bottles for my... Oh, you moved it. Hold on. Well, I need the bottles for my target practice, Jane, and I couldn't just pour the wine down the drain. That'd be a waste.
Jane frowns and leans forward on her knees so that she can examine Jake more closely. She sees it now. The unspecifically precise movement that comes from overcorrecting drunken body language, the unfocus of the eyes. That was a very detailed thesis he had on Dirk's potential psychology, almost like he'd been given it a good think. She knew that Jake and Dirk were not officially together and had not been for some time, but their lives were still inexorably entwined on basically every level for some reason she did not understand. One might even say codependently. No matter what he said, this had to be affecting him as well. Jane lets out a fluttering breath.
Oh. You know, Jake, you're right. It really would be a waste.
She pushes out of the chair and goes to retrieve one of the unopened wine bottles sitting over the fireplace. They're all screw-top because Jake isn't that classy. In fact, he isn't classy at all. His veneer of classiness is about as authentic as an off-brand Halloween mask. Jane has no idea why she can't get him out of her system these years. She braces herself on the mantel and knocks her head back, taking a long, uninterrupted swig right from the bottle.
Jeepers, Jane, slow down!
Jane keeps gulping. She drinks until she can't stand, then breaks off, shaking her head and letting out an ungraceful hiss. Golly, that is cheap, Merlot. Her vision is already swimming. Spilling a bit of wine on herself, she spins around to stare at the silent battlebot. It's got its hand out, waiting for her to hand over the bottle.
Could you leave us alone, please?
The battlebot tips its head at her with a click whir, and then looks at Jake, who traitorously offers exactly zero backup. Dejectedly, the bot shuffles its way out of the room, but not before dropping every single one of the bottles it was holding so that they make as much noise as possible when hitting the floor. It slams the door behind it. Ah yes, Jane thinks. Scorched earth policy. That robot was indeed programmed by Dirk Strider. Jake is staring at Jane wide-eyed behind his spectacles.
Jane, I must ask again. Are you quite alright?
Actually, no, I'm quite not.
I will say, you really seem like you've got the morbs.
She staggers
Is somebody
back
mowing the
toward her
lawn
seat.
and you're in the background?
They're playing a video
Yeah, that's me.
of
Sorry.
someone boogie boarding. I don't know. It's very loud and
That is a correct assessment, I would say. Sorry.
Sorry, this grass needs to be mowed.
She staggers back to her seat and takes another swig of disgusting wine.
I cancelled my presidential bid.
What? I was under the impression that you were awfully chuffed about that.
I was so incredibly chuffed about it, Jake. But Dirk called me just before his disappearance and told me to cancel everything. And so
Jane puts her face in her hand miserably.
I cancelled everything.
Why, Jane, do you really need Dirk to run for president? I know that he had set himself up as your plenipotentiary, but it seems to me that you have everything you need to win the day without him.
Jane looks up at Jake from between her fingers and under her bangs.
Well, yes, I suppose that I could run a successful presidential campaign on my own merits. Especially since Dirk and I developed most of our strategy together. But now that I've pulled out, I just can't go back and tell them I've changed my mind. That would be so embarrassing. It would make me look wishy-washy. I can see the headlines now, calling me a terminal flip-flopper. Also, somehow it just doesn't seem right without Dirk.
Jake pries the wine bottle from her hand gently. He takes a drink from it less gently.
Dirk has that matter about him, does he not? The way about him makes you feel like whatever you do, as long as it does not involve him, just doesn't count for Dick.
He sounds a little bitter. Jane blinks at him.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but yes, ever since I talked to him, I have felt strange.
Her whole body is numb and floaty. Sure, she chugged the wine, but it's strange to have gotten drunk so fast, isn't it? Especially since she spends several nights a month drinking much harder and fancier drinks at investor diners. Whoa, where the fuck?
You're looking at my screen and not the stream, right?
I am looking at yours.
Yeah, we're watching your Discord, you move it while we talk, and we
I-
completely lose track.
I know, I need to make it so we don't
But
get
where
too
were
far.
Wait for
That's
a
right.
paragraph break.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Her whole body is numb and floaty. Sure, she chugged the wine, but it's strange to have gotten drunk so fast, isn't it? Especially since she spends several nights a month drinking much harder and fancier drinks at investor diners. Jake passes the bottle back and she takes another drink.
Strange how?
Strange like you just explained. Like nothing I do matters. I should be more upset I've spoiled my chance at running for president, but for some reason I find myself not really caring. And that's what I'm actually so upset about. The fact that I don't care. Instead...
When did Jake scoot his chair closer? They're sitting packaged so tightly now that his bare knees are brushing hers. The air between them is warm and wine-soaked. Jane takes another serious look at him and his elegant jawline, his dark eyelashes, his handsome nose. It really isn't fair that he's so good-looking while also being so Jake. But this is nice, she thinks. When was the last time they talked? Really talked? It's been such a long time that she's almost surprised how good he's being to her right now, considering that she walked in on him in peak English disaster mode. Was it always this easy to talk to him? Maybe because of the wine, and maybe just because she wants to. Jane reaches out and sets a hand on his thigh. She leans in close until she can feel his breath on her face.
Oh, this is mortifying to admit, but I've been thinking that perhaps I've been doing the wrong thing with my life. Instead of all this business politicking I've been doing, what I'd really like is to settle down and raise a family. Does that sound ridiculous?
Why, that doesn't sound ridiculous at all. It's just that I've never heard you express such sentiments before. Except, of course, for that time when you were under mind control and had me trussed up in your lair as a pontificated villainously about using me as a breeding stud to create a blood lineage for your incubant corporate space empire.
Oh, you still remember that?
Jane, you're one of my most cherished friends. I couldn't possibly forget a single moment we spent together, no matter how sexually uncomfortable the situation may have been.
Jane feels herself turn red. Why did she think this would be so easy? Jake English was kind of a slut, true, but also their relationship was an emotional minefield. She slides her hand down to cup his knee, rolls her thumb into the dip of the joint there, and tries to remember the drunken advice on matters of seduction Jade gave her once when she was foolish enough to take a weekend off and go on one of her one of her and Jake's expeditions. She can't for the life of her remember the substance of any of her lessons, though. Jake is still staring at her, drunken and enraptured. She ventures deeper into his personal space.
Well, Jake, it doesn't always have to be that way. Putting business first, ignoring the good things in my life, chasing profit? I'm sick of it. To think that I could be loving, I could be a good wife, the kind of man who needs a good wife in his life. Like, say, an eligible bachelor with 100 empty rooms in his house, and no one to help clean them. Who's been recently and mysteriously abandoned by his long-term companion, or whatever he was. Someone handsome and lonely and who knows me well enough that we need not fear showing each other our less savory sides, such as being drunk at 9 in the morning. Oh, Jake, isn't that the dream?
Jake slants close, casting a shadow over her face. His eyes are so green, and they're glittering with naked adoration for her. It's all for her. He nudges a knuckle under her chin and tips her face towards him. Oh, God.
Jane?
He's so close that Jane thinks he might kiss her. She shuts her eyes and lets his husky wine breath wash over her face. Instead of kissing her, he says,
I say this sincerely as one of your oldest and dearest friends. I hope that you have luck in finding someone as charming and bricky bloke who will summarily impregnate you with as much swiftness as possible and is responsible father for your children. There is nothing for you I want more.
Jane's mouth drops. What was she expecting? But Jake doesn't register her mortification or frustration either. He just keeps smiling and gazing into her eyes, warm and drunk.
Well, then.
With a deep sigh, Jane shoves Jake off her and stumbles back to where his horrendous-tasting wine is stored. She pops open a bottle of briny-smelling Moscato and tips it back. This embarrassing encounter isn't going to forget itself.
I gotta be honest, that whole thing, the whole thing was very uncomfortable.
Until
But that
finally
fucking,
he rejected her, like,
that
needed
last
to
part
happen.
was fucking hilarious.
I needed that to happen. I was like, oh god, oh boy.
I'm gonna,
No.
okay, time to write that
Jinkillicus.
review.
There were a lot of Jake Englishisms in the Jake English text.
Huh?
Holy shit.
There was a bit in the middle, but there was not a lot of gee willikers.
There really wasn't any. Also, the fucking, there was a Pester Quest preview today, and
Oh god.
it does
Me
not,
lads?
it
Oi,
does,
me lads, it's me, Jake
Me-
English.
me lad is more of a Mr. Krabs thing than it is a Jake
Oh,
English
me
thing.
lads, it's me, Jake English. I'm a
Oh,
Scottish
me
English
lad!
now.
Hey, Squidward, it's me, Jake English!
Maybe it's the ideal form of Jake English.
Get back to work, Dirk!
He's 10 feet tall with bulging muscles.
Get back to work, Dirk.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty uncomfortable. And my score is 1 out of 2.
1 out of... That's pretty solid for that one.
1
I
out of
can't
2.
wait to see as we go on. You're gonna be giving them like negative 50.
Hang
That's a
on.
one.
So let me. Jesus Christ, it doesn't even show the whole thread anymore. I have to click above posts to get to them. Let me see how many times I've given out negative scores. Let's see here. I know, it's a dumb scoring system. I don't care. M10, I gave a negative 1.5 out of 2. Oh, this is like the same situation, but in meat. Except it actually happened in meat instead of a rejection.
Oh wait, are you talking about the thing that just happened? It actually happened?
Kinda. It's not. It's very different. The circumstances are very different, but I said, God, that was dreadful. Jake was fun and actually seemed pretty accurate, but Jane was absolutely painful to read. Oh no, I'm thinking of a different one. M12, I gave a negative 1. M19, expectedly, I gave that a -2. And I don't know if M25 counts. I gave that an X out of 2 because I don't have a score for it yet. Because I can't finish it until we get to C25.
Uh-huh.
Did I have a notification? Let me check this real quick. Oh. Thank you for retweeting the stream. Alright. Let's just jump into it.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
the next one's pretty good. We're not getting into the real thick of it yet.
It's the first time I'm gonna be voicing stuff. I don't swear.
Oh no, heterosexuals. I'm scared. C7.
Okay, am I still narrating because I
Who's
can't?
doing what?
No, I can do it. I just.
Well, because
Okay.
it has Calliope, and I think it's a lot nicer of a transition whenever you're, like, if you're voice acting something, then somebody else narrates, because then it makes the voice acting a little more clear and
Okay.
concise.
And I have to do Callie.
John, Roxy, Gamzee, and Callie.
Okay,
Oh boy, was the Gamzee toward the end though? Because
Yeah, it looks like Gamzee and Calliope don't talk at the same time. So
wait a
you
minute.
can
I
switch
just need
narrators
to.
there.
I just need to check something. Did they?
if you can make it so you can finally put Gamzee's voice.
What? Why did?
Why
Hang on. Wait a minute.
Why does it do that?
When I turn on my dark theme, it just makes Gamzee's text white.
Broken
What the
theme.
fuck?
Undertale. Dude,
Skins
he's
under-
skeleton.
That's why it was so weird. That's why his text was white. That explains that.
I wish it
Anyway,
could be purple.
Extension.
I'm Calliope, and obviously I'm Roxy.
All right, I'm gonna read it.
And then wait, who's got John?
That's me.
Okay.
Sweet.
Wait.
John's been spending. Oh,
Never mind. I thought. Okay. Never mind. Let's go.
okay. John's been spending a lot of time with Roxy lately, which also means spending a lot of time with Calliope, which is awkward but fine. But it also means spending a lot of time with Gamzee, which is awkward and not even remotely fine. John, Roxy, and Calliope are taking a stroll through downtown New Prospect. Gamzee's here too, a couple feet behind John, doing essentially the same thing that the other three are doing, which is walking at a leisurely pace. But he's being so weird about it that you can't really call it strolling. It's more like he's holding court, while somehow remaining in motion. Ever since he popped out of that fridge smelling like a sweaty foot, he's been all wise and sage-like. John considers that even if he were using these two descriptors out loud, he'd make air quotes while saying them. He'd then say Gamzee's acting almost like a, quote, priest, which is a word he would also make air quotes around, due to how insanely full of shit John still believes him to be. Roxy and Calliope, however, apparently do not believe him to be full of shit for some reason.
Isn't that nice?
Gamzee's leading a line of adoring Carapacians trailing behind him, telling them stupid fake Zen stuff like, "You gotta stop to smell the seed fronds, my dudes." Not to be specious or anything, but the sight is kind of worrying because John knows all too well how susceptible Carapacians are to grassroots populism. He has it on good authority that virtually any schmuck can blunder into a crowd of them, say a few inspirational words, and incite revolutionary fever amongst the masses. John tries his best to ignore it and walk ahead, but Roxy loops her arm through his and pulls him back.
We're here, check it.
Where's here?
Me and Callie's fave cafe.
It's a nice place. Big oval windows, flowers on all the tables. It's got a Frenchish aesthetic. John says ish because everything on Earthsea is sort of ish. Alternian-ish, Durse-ish, Japanese-ish. He'd even describe the sky as being kind of blue-ish. Sometimes it's more turquoise than anything. Too crisp and bright. Like the old Earth sky is seen through a pair of tinted novelty glasses. John doesn't mean to be cynical about it, but he guesses that that's just the mood he's in. Maybe it has to do with the fact that Calliope insisted on including an unbelievably smelly clown on an otherwise perfectly pleasant stroll.
That's it? We're going to a coffee shop? I got out of bed for this?
Wow, John, you're so funny.
No, seriously, Roxy, I feel like I haven't left my house in years, and with all the stuff that's been going on, like Rose's illness, all that stuff about political situation, is it really a good idea for us to be having picnics and going out for coffee shops?
Oh, John, don't worry so much about things that you have no control over. Like I said the other day, it's time for us to leave ugly things behind us. Yeah, for real, John, you can just enjoy what a beautiful day it is. I know I'm enjoying it, since I get to have it with you like I've always been wanting.
You have?
Yeah, duh.
She tugs him
Hang on,
against her
I'm scrolling down.
Yeah. She tugs him against her side and rests her head on his shoulder. She's a bit taller than him in her nice shoes, so it's kinda awkward, feels uncomfortable to him, and looks more so for her. But he's enjoying the attention, sort of. He missed her, the way she used to be when the two of them were close as kids. She's laying it on a little thick for his benefit right now, and while he can appreciate that, it can be difficult to rekindle a friendship after it's gone cold for a while. John wishes the rekindling period would hurry up and end already so they can just go back to shooting the shit like normal. Roxy drags him into the cafe. Calliope doesn't follow them in. For reasons he can only guess at, he catches a glimpse of her through the window. A little forlorn Gamzee at her side like a faithful dog. He can't hear what they're saying. Outside, Calliope clasps her hands and directs a wistful expression through the cafe window, foot traffic splitting lazily around her and Gamzee as they stand in the busy street. At high noon, her little body casts almost no shadow on the cobblestone road.
Sigh.
What, shaking sis? You look bummed all the fuck out.
That sounds like BD Joe. That sounded
Now you
like
can do
BD
it.
Joe.
Like who?
Like BD Joe from Crazy Taxi.
Oh, hey, it's Crazy Taxi.
Go ahead, pick car and driver.
How can you be feeling so down while you're getting redeemed and shit up in here?
Oh, it's just... Can't you see what's happening with Roxy and John?
Gamzee stares through the window. Roxy's leaning across the table to dab at the corner of John's
Dab.
mouth with
Yeah.
Dab.
I just did a dab in real life.
Stop.
I did it
Yeah,
again.
dab in real life, and I'm holding a
Because
fidget
they
spinner.
aren't actually eating anything yet. Gamzee stares at this for a very long time, his mouth lolling open as he contemplates what is transpiring with the closest facsimile to wisdom he can muster. He puts one of his huge hands on Calliope's narrow shoulder, all comforting like,
Oh yeah, for sure your girl Roxy's all globes deep in that dude's dank nook.
Yes, and while I can't say I didn't see this coming, it's all happening so fast. I thought for sure I'd have more time with her.
What a motherfucker like me too.
Gamzee leans in so that his face is level with Calliope's. His grin shows every single one of his teeth. Miraculously, his breath smells worse than his body.
Motherfucking do something about it.
No! Gamzee, no, please. It's fine. I might be sad, but John has made his choice, and we must all live with the repercussions of that. I'm sure that Roxy will be very happy with him. We're all going to be very, very happy. I truly believe that.
Calliope walks away, looking somewhat less than very, very happy. Gamzee remains standing in front of the cafe, still not quite entirely convinced that he shouldn't motherfucking do something about it. Joe notices him there, just outside the window, leering at him and Roxy. His expression is serene, vacant. Calliope is nowhere to be seen.
Hey, Roxy,
What's up?
Gamzee. He's staring at us, and it's kind of creeping me out.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. He gets stuck like that sometimes.
Stuck?
All wonked out and shit. I think he's got brain damage from being a burnout. It's so sad.
Is it?
Roxy takes a sip of her tea. Her purple lipstick leaves a stain on the fine china.
Yeah, John, it's totes sad. He never had a chance with the kind of life he had. What a tragic, misunderstood figure. I fucking hate this. I fucking hate this.
Roxy sighs
Poor
and
sweet
spears the
Gamzee.
cherry atop her cheesecake with the absurdly tiny dessert fork it was served with. She pops it in her mouth with a pouty little lip pop, staring directly at John with her eyes half lidded. He thinks she might be trying to be sexy, but he's a bit distracted by the sight of Gamzee lumbering into the cafe with all the grace of an aubergine Sasquatch sporting an epic erection. He puts both hands on the back of Roxy's chair and looms over her. Without breaking eye contact with John, Roxy scoops up a spoonful of cheesecake and feeds it to him.
Hey, Roxita.
What the fuck? Oh my god!
Holy shit.
Even the narrator's shook right now!
Hey, Gams, what's shaking?
Gally went all running off. Ugh.
Aw, hope she's feeling alright.
She's motherfucking fine. She said some noise about a Kazo what John did. We're all gonna be one happy family of fucking ninjas for motherfucking ever.
What?
Yeah. Gamzee, you're one silly dude. TBH, pretty psyched to see you going through all this redemption shit. I bet you gonna make a baller part of our greater ensemble if you're given the chance.
John attempts to furtively gesture his disapproval with the entire situation toward Roxy, but vaguely swiping his neck in a horizontal direction with his fingers. But she doesn't notice. Instead, she puts her fork down, slides her chair out, and springs to her feet with an abundance of this newfound enthusiasm he's been struggling to understand.
BRB, gonna hit the ladies' room. Back in a jiff, suckers.
Alright.
John and the date's repulsive third wheel watch as she scurries to the back of the establishment. The moment the door to the bathroom closes, Gamzee lumbers into a sitting position across the table from John. Without the slightest deviation in his heinously awkward comportment, he puts his forearms on the table in front of him, folds his hands, and gazes into John's eyes with what he has come to identify as Gamzee's signature brand of fox serenity.
Oh.
My fucking guy.
Oh boy, man!
My dude to
My
my
fucking
ninja.
guy!
My horn dog.
Oh,
my
no.
horn to the motherfucking dog.
My buddy pal chum guy!
buddy pal, chum buddy pal.
He is Sans!
Sans.
God damn it, no! John desperately waves to attract some service in the hopes that it will provide a social buffer for the appalling interaction that is presently taking place, but no carapace seems to be close enough to heed his request. Fuck!
Wait, where are we? Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I see what's all fucking up, my good brother. All's about I can say is, game recognizing motherfucking game. You got no secrets from this motherfucking egg boy. A man stays locked in another man's hunger truck long enough. Ain't much left to fucking hide from one another.
Okay, we gotta recap. Recap!
Recap? What are we
What?
recapping?
Oh, she's here.
Oh, they're here.
Okay, so, Jane went to
Day at work.
Well, it's gonna get a whole lot worse.
Sorry.
So what happened is Jane went to Jake's house to tell him that she is no longer
Running for president.
Oh, thank
and
God.
then she finds him shooting a battle bot inside of his own home. So you know, just the kind of reckless bullshit Jake is accustomed to.
Yeah.
And then they drink wine. Jane basically tells him, but in a very slightly indirect way, that that she wants to start a family with Jake, and Jake says,
Well, she
"I'm
wants to
so-"
start a family in general, but Jake is also hot.
Yeah, and then Jake says, "Well, I truly wish that you get a husband who loves you and all of those things that you describe, and you have a husband with all of those descriptions that also apply to me."
Yeah, and also impregnates you as fast as you want to be impregnated.
That's such a great way to get friend zoned. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Basically,
and
he
before
just
that they were like worrying over Dirk, because obviously something's up with Dirk, and she was like stressing about the fact that she's so okay with not being president, and that's what makes her upset, is that she was really working hard to be president, and now that Dirk doesn't want to do it, it doesn't fucking matter to her either, and that's weird.
It sounds like you like someone, Jane.
Okay,
Yeah.
Boomer.
And what's happening in this chapter is that
Back with Gamzee and Calliope and Roxy.
John, Roxy, Calliope, and Gamzee go to a coffee shop. Like the fucking
It's a coffee shop at you.
the most basic bitch fan fiction shit coffee shop.
Oh boy.
And Calliope is concerned because Calliope is concerned that maybe they're not all going to be happy together, but she feels pretty confident about it still.
Oh.
And John's just weirded out by Roxy and Gamzee.
Everyone except for John is just weirdly okay with Gamzee, and it's very out of character. Who the fuck is okay with Gamzee?
We might add
And Roxy's
that
really into John.
Or we're not
Yeah.
a sad story. You know?
we might add that Calliope's worried because obviously Roxy's hitting on John.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh.
She lost her girlfriend, Rip.
These hoes ain't loyal.
But the weird thing is that she was saying like she knew it would happen, but not this quickly. So I think like Calliope has some weird like meta shit going on where she knows shit.
Well, wait a minute. What happened to Alt Callie? I say as if I don't know.
I don't remember. That's why I'm actually rereading.
Well, Alt Callie fucking did Act 7. Like, the shit that happened in Act 7, or whatever. I don't even actually remember exactly what happened in Act 7. She was just at the very start and did a thing. Oh no, she made the black hole.
She made the black hole, which you'll find out if you keep reading.
Okay.
Yeah,
The black hole is important to this storyline.
from what I understand, I believe that basically meat is Dirk's route, and candy is Alt Callie's route, if that makes any fucking sense.
It kind of.
Well,
There's
we'll
a lot of
get there.
subversions. There's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot more complicated.
Oh, subversions. Well, you know, I mean, if you have subversions, that means you're...
expectations.
If you subvert expectations, that means automatically that you're a good writer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's how it works. It means that you are by default a good writer.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm just gonna start from the top of the page, just so you know.
Top of the page.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, right here, top of what
That's a-
where I'm scrolled
Oh,
right
where
now.
you're scrolling.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a long way.
Yeah, no. BRB, gonna hit the ladies' room. Back into GIF suckers.
Okay.
Alright.
What? No, that's the character saying it.
Yeah, I know.
Octo?
I said that.
No, Octo.
Yeah.
No, that was me.
I mean,
Yeah. Someone say
you were doing narration.
Yeah. I was just adding some more coloring to my piece. 'Cause
Oh.
I do that.
Okay.
Hold on.
How dare you
Okay,
do more than
okay.
one thing at once? I need all of your attention.
Alright. John and the date's repulsive third wheel watch as she scurries to the back of the establishment. The moment the door to the bathroom closes, Gamzee lumbers. Oh, wait. We forgot to fucking recap that also Calliope vented about the whole, like, oh, Roxy's falling in love with
Yeah, no, we
thing,
mentioned
or
that.
John. And
We
no,
mentioned that.
but the reason I bring it up is because Gamzee offered to, like, do something about it for her.
Oh, yeah. That might be relevant in the next couple minutes. And
Yeah,
I'm-
that's why it's relevant, because he lumbers into the fucking coffee shop and like
Motherfucking
like-
do something about
and
it.
stands behind Roxy and says like, "What's up, Roxarita?"
And
or
she
some
feeds him a
shit.
piece of cake.
Well, no, that was John that she fed that to.
No, it was Gamzee.
Was
I
it?
thought.
Yeah.
Was it?
That's how I read it.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, she went to the bathroom. So she's like, John on the date's repulsive third wheel watches. She scurries to the back of the establishment. The moment the door to the bathroom closes, Gamzee lumbers into a sitting position across the table from John. Without the slightest deviation in his heinously awkward comportment, He puts his forearms on the table in front of him, folds his hands, and gazes into John's eyes with what he has come to identify as Gamzee's signature brand of fox serenity.
Oh.
My fucking guy. My dude and my ninja like my horn dog. My horn to the motherfucking dog.
Waiter, help!
John desperately waves to attract some service in the hopes that it will provide a social buffer for the appalling interaction that is presently taking place, but no carapace seems to be close enough to heed his request.
I see what's fucking up, my good brother. All's I about to say is the game recognized motherfucking game. You got no secrets from this motherfucker, egg boy. A man stays locked in another man's hunger trunk long enough, they ain't got much to fucking hide from one another.
Actually, that wasn't even my fridge. That was Jane's. I mean, we've basically got the same fridge.
Shut the fuck up. I'm getting real motherfucker right now. I've been redeemed, yo. I said my sorries and redeemed the shit out of myself, don't you see?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's incumbent on a motherfucker to spread the redemption. You should get your redemption too, my choicest of dudes. My dankest of dogs. See, a motherfucking knows. You got this bitch on a rope. It's time to pull her into your tent. I can smell it on you, brother. You've wasted years letting this premium hoe slip through your fingers. This fucking unconscionable than any crude stunt I pearled in my day, I'ma tell you. A capital motherfucking crime to be squandering earth pussy like that.
Oh my god, so weirdly uncomfortable.
Jesus
But
Christ,
I'm
dude.
all getting your back here, bro. I can be your wingman in this carnal fucking caper. I can help a little bitch like you romantically redeem his sorry ass. Let a motherfucker help a little motherfucker out. Her popcorn skillet's piping hot for you already. You just need a Titan Lord boy like me to start shoveling in the cord.
Thinking it unwise to break eye contact with this lunatic, John nods very slowly as he listens, while taking a secret snap of his ghoulish face to send it to Rezi. Before John submits, he tags a photo with a message.
I absolutely hate this.
I'm just gonna
Rate that.
shoop.
What's the rating on that, huh?
That's gonna be a fucking
Oh, you're just gonna post
0.5.
just that.
I'm gonna post that as the.
I'm gonna put that as a fucking 0. Like, nah,
Don't you like Wingman Gamzee? He's gonna help her get help him get Roxy.
I screamed
You make a-
that this shit makes me need it now.
You know what? You're right. 2.5 was being too generous. I'm doing a 0, and I'm just gonna post that screen cap, and that's the entire review.
I don't know, I liked the chapter. Like,
I
the
feel like-
Gamzee part actually made me laugh because he's trying to have Calliope's back since she had his.
I feel
And
like
I wonder
with-
if he's doing like a double negative where he knows that talking like this to John is just gonna make him not want to be anywhere near Roxy.
I feel like if we weren't voice acting it right now, I would have given that a -2. The voice acting made it fun. And just to make sure you know that I really did that for the review, there it is.
Oh, was my voice fine? Are you alright?
What?
Did I do bad? Did I do alright? My voice fine?
Oh yeah, actually, your audio quality is absolutely abysmal because of your echo, but your actual acting is really good.
Okay, good. Alright. Okay.
So next one, there's just Rose and Kanaya.
Oh
who's
yes,
who
yes. I gotta be Kanaya because I think I can do pretty good Kanaya. Anybody want to be Rose?
I'll do Rose if you still want to do narration, or I can do narration.
I can get the text to speech bot back out.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like doing narration. Why? Is there Carcat or something? I don't remember.
No,
narrating
it's just
one.
Rose and Kanaya.
Okay, then I'll keep narrating. Oh shit! Right, I'm trying. Fuck. Sorry.
No, it starts with the Rose. Did you hear that? Oh, let me find my Rose voice.
Go ahead.
did you hear that Jane has been intending to run for president?
Yes, she has in fact asked me to serve as a position on her cabinet, on the Board of Responsible Troll Reproduction.
Oh dear, what did you tell her?
Well, not in so many words, but I told her to kindly fuck off.
Rose arches an eyebrow at her wife, who is tending to the mother grub. Rose herself is sitting cross-legged on an outcropping over the lip of the breeding pit, knitting a series of tiny scarves for the grub clones that she and Kanaya have come to help hatch.
That bad, huh?
She was already talking about regulation. I'm fine.
Aha!
She was already talking about regulating troll reproduction. With great confidence, I might add, as if she had already been elected.
Very presumptuous of her.
Well, I suppose her confidence was not unearned. Who was going to run against her? Carcat?
Oh, maybe, bitch!
Actually, in the other timeline, yeah.
Kanaya laughs to herself, more fun than mocking. Rose turns over another row on her scarf with dexterous ease, switching the knit pattern without missing a stitch. From behind her knitting, she watches Kanaya check the shell thickness on a batch of eggs. Her wife is luminous in the early morning light, her rainbow drinker skin soaking in the pink light and reflecting it back like the inside of a snail shell.
I don't think Carcat would be such a bad candidate, actually. Depending on certain factors, I mean. I'm assuming that in this theoretical scenario, Dave is handling the economy.
Oh, of course.
Okay. In that case, it might have all worked out in the end.
Doubtlessly, I have great faith in Carcat and always have. However, I also am not certain that he could step out of his hive without catching on Swiffer, could you not swift the mother grub so vigorously? Who wants to do Swiffer? I love Swiffer, but I can't do Swiffer.
Who's
I'll do
It's
sorry.
only
I'll
one
use-
line if you want to do it.
It's
Who is
Swiffer
Swiffer?
Egg Mop. Swiffer Egg Mop. Hang on,
What is-
hang on. I'm gonna open this in another tab. Swiffer Egg Mop. I'm gonna
Swiffer
find.
was in the credits in the Snapchats.
Oh. I don't
She's
remember
now
the
the main character of the Homestuck 2 bonus updates.
Oh.
Here she is.
There.
Oh.
She's Swife.
Okay.
In the Patreon only updates, she now has an actual sprite and stuff like a normal character.
Oh, that's neat.
Okay.
That's very cool. But also, what's Homestuck 2? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a little fan thing.
What does she sound like? Somebody give me an example and I'll try to
And,
read it.
Nobody
I would
knows.
say
It's
she
never
talks
been-
a little like she talks a little like a parody of a 1920s newsboy archetype.
Oh, okay.
Newsboy archetype.
Extra, read all about it.
Oh, sorry, Mom!
Oh, there you go.
Best line in fucking history.
Swiffer Eggmop is Kanaya's over-eager but well-meaning jade-blooded assistant. She talks a little like a... When drugs can only has to deal with Jane's influence on the culture. Just trying to get her nice and clean. Heard the new Prosper Hornograph is coming by later to scope out some pics. Swiffer is at the center of the breeding pit, knee-deep in birthing juice as she mops down the mother grub's exoskeleton. The parturition of troll grubs is apparently an arduous and grisly task, one that has stained the mother grub's shimmering white exoskeleton rainbow dark with various secretions. Rose takes a moment to feel grateful that her current relationship alignment leaves no chance for her to ever be human pregnant. Not that she has any particular distaste for motherhood. It might be nice to adopt a little troll grub once the whole ball on natural production gets rolling. Swiffer adjusts the rate of her swiffing to a more acceptable level of vigor. She shines up the last of the segments she's working on, then twirls the mop over her wrist with a marital flourish that absolutely recalls the fact that she's a natural born warrior species. She then gets to work washing the mother grub's horns.
And what's this about the hornographer? Since when has the press taken an interest in our activities down here?
Oh yes, you were busy dying when I set all of that up. The mother grub is mature enough this year to process inseminated slurry for the first time in our history. If the government gives us the go-ahead, we can begin breeding trolls the natural way next month. I arranged the newspaper story when
Jane asked you to sit on the board for responsible troll reproduction.
Yes, the first thing I did immediately after screaming into a pillow was to call my acquaintance at the paper. Now that she isn't running, it doesn't seem very important, however. Actually, I'm not terribly interested in politics at all. Without anger motivating me, I began to think about how it's probably very irresponsible for any of us to use our influence in such a way.
I agree. In fact, I just assumed that most of us had arrived at such a conclusion.
Not Jane, apparently.
Or Dave, I'm sorry to say.
There's a third member of their social group who definitely hasn't arrived at the conclusion that his power and influence should be meted out responsibly either. Neither of them speak his name, however. For some reason, it feels like a shadow passing over the sun. A brief spike of pain flickers through Rose's head. A bolt that strikes between her eyes and splinters it out. There is color and light behind it, a vision that tears through the material reality in front of her and gives her a brief glimpse into a parallel reality where things are very different. It's gone as soon as she notices it. The image never materializes. She ties off the last row of her scarf and unwinds her knitting needles from the wool, a serene smile tugging at her lips. Since waking up in the hospital, she has stopped worrying altogether about what might be happening in splintered timelines. She has stopped worrying, in fact, about almost anything at all. A pleasant breeze rustles through her hair, carrying the sweet scent of early spring from the mouth of the chasm. Rose closes her eyes for a moment and breathes it in. It takes just 1 minute at a time. A day can be filled with hundreds of perfect moments.
Well, whatever inconvenient party ruining options Dave and Jane might have about the economic future of our planet, it's all in the past. I have a very good feeling about where things are going now.
I see. So are you the seer now?
No, but I can make predictions based on existing evidence. And if I can spend every day like this, doing the work that I was born to do with the person I am most fond of in the world by my side, I believe that I can handle anything.
Did you really use dialogue like that to win my heart, or are we getting complacent and incredibly uncool in our old age?
I convinced you to marry me. I don't think that I am obligated to be cool anymore.
Kanaya, you're the coolest chick I know.
What are you doing with your hands?
Oh, you know, just one of these.
Please don't tell me you're attempting to do the Strider thing. That thing he does where he pretends to operate an invisible record player?
Sunglasses emoji.
God.
Who's the cool one now?
Well, it sure isn't you.
Oh, Swiffer's back.
Ma'am, and ma'am's wife. Bank's closed, ladies. The first egg is hatching already.
Oh.
Kanaya twirls on her heels, skin flickering bright as she lifts her skirt and jumps into the breeding pit. Rose sets down her needles and follows, walking along the edge of the pit to the place closest to the eggs. She crouches to watch the miracle of life begin. She's never taken the time to come down here before and see the grubs hatch, probably because she's been too busy diminishing melodramatically on the couch to take an active interest in her wife's life's calling. The grub is already chewing through the chitin eggshell with all its little legs moving sinuously in offbeat concert. Swiffer is sniffling. She makes the motion of wiping away a tear somewhat cartoonishly. Golly gee, oh my! This part always makes me tear up! Kanaya dips down to help the grub out of the shell. Her skirt trails through a puddle of birthing jelly, but she doesn't seem to care. There's an odd expression lighting up her face, in addition to the literal light emanating from her skin. She tears away the last chunk of the shell. It's mottled and rough, like a rock on the outside, but has a layer beneath like mulch flesh. Kanaya's hands are soaked blue with bloody yolk when she finally lifts the grub and holds it up to the light.
Rose, look.
Rose looks. All troll grubs appear kind of samey, but this one has a familiar look about her. Asymmetric horns, one crescent, the other harpoon-like, a moosed mane of hair, and a mischievous glint in her
Yes!
particularly the one with 7 pupils.
Yes!
Vriska?
It's me! I'm back, bitches! Yeah!
Baby Vriska, baby Vriska.
Let's go! Let's go!
Murder on the line! Gotta feed my mother!
Pretty close. A reasonable genetic approximation. This brood has been utilizing a slurry consisting of our genes from our original group of 12 trolls. Mostly this results in unique individuals, but sometimes very close copies occur. As such with the... no. No. I don't like this. I don't... No. I don't like that.
The case of ancestral
You
descendancy.
motherfucker. Why isn't it capitalized?
So...
The
case is not capitalized.
I really hope this was fixed in the
Vriska
print
would be
release.
this troll's ancestor.
Yes.
Wow.
Rose, I think this is a sign.
A sign of what?
Haven't we been talking about adopting a grub?
Oh my
Eventually,
god.
yes, but a natural-born grub. Don't you think it'll be somewhat awkward, us raising a clone of your sort of ex? What happens when Vriska comes back? What do we...
Rose, Friska is dead, so it doesn't really matter.
Is she dead, though?
Absolutely, there are 2 things of which I have no doubt. That you and I are going to be happy for the rest of our lives, and that we are never ever going to see Friska again.
Now I don't think that's going to happen. That's gonna happen now.
It doesn't happen
know she
in this story.
But it happens.
But it happens. Baby Vriska wiggles her 6 talons. Kanaya cradles the little grub against her chest and pokes it in the nose. The grub reacts by blowing a bubble of bright cerulean yolk membrane out from between its lips. To her own surprise, the sight melts Rose's heart in an instant. The emotion that hits her feels like one of her old visions. Suddenly she can see her and Kanaya's future so clearly, like a map rolled out at her feet and stretching far into the horizon. Kanaya's right. Vriska is dead, and despite everything, she died a hero. Vriska was a complicated figure of contrasting extremes. Her heroic actions were matched in scale only by her monstrous ones, and since no one had actually witnessed her end, it was impossible to say which side of the pendulum swung and judged her death, heroic or just. It would be a fitting memorial for her and Kanaya to raise a version of Vriska who would be given every chance to make good on her noble characteristics, a true symbolic redemption arc. Something about the thought appeals to Rose's taste for the dramatic flourish. It would be proof that this was all worth it in the end. The destruction of multiple universes, the death of Kanaya's friends, the circuitous rites of suffering experienced by the nearly infinite splintered versions of every being inhabiting paradox space. Rose loves her wife fiercely in this moment, the new mother of her species, framed in literal halo of light. She can't contain her excitement. She leaps into the pit with Kanaya and runs to embrace her, not caring about the irreversible rainbow color stains that she's smearing into her dress.
Oh, Kanaya, you're right. We're gonna be so astonishingly happy.
Aww.
This is so sweet. I feel like it's gonna be docked points for that fucking mistake in the text, though.
Oh, yeah.
So my score is negative 500 out of 1. This is literally...
Typo.
This is literally unreadable. Worst thing ever. I'm writing my review. I am June, by the way. Hello.
Okay, June. But one thing, does birthing juice redeem it?
Birthing juice.
Along with birth gel.
What do you think of Rose and Kanaya starting a family and adopting a baby Vriska?
I think it's the fucking best thing in this entire tome. Um, also, that thing that doesn't exist, Homestuck 2, that it doesn't exist. The only good
Doesn't
thing about
exist.
it doesn't exist, but the only good thing about this theoretical thing that doesn't exist, is Frissy.
Vrissy, yes.
Best fucking
Isn't it
thing.
amazing that this little baby Vriska here grows up to have not safe for work art drawn of her?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. She goes to high school. Don't do that.
It's too late. I've seen multiple.
Have
I'm
you
s-
even looked at Tumblr? Like
I'm
before
s-
the porn went away?
I'm so sad.
It's
I'm
still
so
strong
fucking.
on Twitter and the Boru.
I'm
There's
so
some
fucking.
Vrissies out there. And
This
the
is-
Reddit.
Like, not even just Vriska, but every other Homestuck character.
I changed my mind. This conversation brought this down to a 0 out of 2.
No! Rate it accordingly. Rate it accordingly.
I will.
1.9 out of 2.
And 2, 2. And then I'm gonna say, but actually, minus 50 points because Sky mentioned porn.
That's gonna be every chapter from here on out. It's not
How
me.
did- like,
the
did you
work,
for-
the
no,
epilogue
no,
itself
no, like,
is.
June, did you forget that Horny Jade exists in the Candy timeline?
You think
Guess
I
what
like
the-
that
guess what
too?
the next chapter is. Guess what the next chapter is.
No! Why?
It's Dave Cat all the way down.
Oh, oh. Yeah!
You can do a lot of car cat voice at least.
Oh,
It's
hell
a great
yeah.
chapter.
I guess
This
I got
this chapter is like one of the defining moments for me of the epilogue.
Oh boy. Bubba, shut the hell up. I have to read about a horny dog and I'm not ready.
Okay, there's my review.
Hello, big man.
For this one, I'll do the narration if you guys want.
Oh, cool.
Alright.
Okay, let's see where. Oh, hell
Here
yeah!
we go.
I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
I am not happy either. But
I'm happy.
Jade, let's go.
alright. Aren't you guys happy to get out of the house for once?
Jade's tail switches back and forth under her striped shirt as she takes a great big sniff from the fresh outside air. It's early evening on the outskirts of Troll Kingdom. One by one, neon bright windows are lighting up on the hives in the distance. Karkat is still shielding his eyes against the dying strains of the sunset. His shoulders are scrunched up so high that his cheeks disappear into his turtleneck.
No, actually, I don't get what's so great about it. I can see the same bullshit from the comfort of my house. Check it out, a giant billboard of Jake English complete with a gyrating mechanical ass. What a totally necessary thing to shove right into my gander bulbs. Definitely couldn't have lived without seeing that.
Dude, okay, don't pretend you don't spend at least 15% of your day ogling Jake's ass on television anyway. In fact, you're doing it right now.
Well, I can't help it, Dave. It's right fucking there. Oh my god, are the mechanical glutes on that billboard actually padded with plush to make them more lifelike?
Yeah, see, crazed fans keep climbing the billboards to cop a feel, so Dirk designed the second run of them to have an accurate rendition of Jake's butt density.
He did what?
It's wild, dude. It's exactly spot on.
Wait, holy fuck. Have you actually touched Jake's ass?
I mean, not necessarily on purpose, but who hasn't? Like, I wouldn't
Okay,
say it's so
okay,
much that I
sure.
touched his ass. It's more like his ass copped a feel of my sweaty palm one time, and my poor fingers haven't been the same since. Sometimes I wake up from a fevered dream and find my reluctant, groping hand huddled in the corner of my bed, all shaken and shit. The mind represses, but the body remembers. I've thought about taking my hand to a psychologist, but I don't think the little guy is ready to talk about it yet. Anyway, have you seriously never touched it?
I haven't!
Not even by accident, like brushing by in a crowded elevator?
No, I don't spend a lot of time standing in elevators with Jake fucking English, or for that matter, doing much of anything with the idiot, as you well know.
What I'm hearing is you've tragically never touched his ass, and it's a bit of a sore subject with you. Is that why you're so obsessed with it?
Mm,
You want to touch it? Shit can be arranged, my dude. Here, I'll text Dirk right now. I bet he can pencil you in to cop a feel sometime next week.
No, I don't want to. Put your phone the fuck away. We are never having a play date with Dirk and Jake again. Especially not one arranged for the express purpose of assaulting one of them.
Dude, Jake lives for this shit. It's not assault if his ass is begging for it. Wait, wow, that sounded bad. Let's strike that one from the record. Anyway, it's no problem. He literally will be delighted to hear that you want to spend time with him for some insane reason.
Stop texting right now!
Oh, I love this.
Karkat tries to tear Dave's phone out of his hand, but Dave simply levitates several inches off the ground to hold it just out of jumping distance. Jade, pouting a bit, glides in between them and uses her space powers to teleport Dave's phone out from the center of his traumatized palm and into the pocket of her sweater.
Hey, can we focus here? Jake's ass isn't the one you two should be talking about right now.
Oh my god, Jay, do you ever fucking stop? I don't care about your ass either. I've seen it about as many times as I've seen Jake's. The novelty has worn off, assuming there even was much to begin with.
Jade leers at the boy, who may have just implied her butt was nothing to write home about.
You can say ass. I promise we won't send you to jail.
Listen, I'll be sent to jail, alright? No
I
swearing.
promise we won't send you to jail.
Her canines are longer and sharper than a normal human's, making her grin seem more predatory in nature, especially when she wants it to be. Karkat shivers at the sight of it.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Jay grabs Karkat's right hand, and then Dave's left one, and she begins to pull them towards each other. Both boys recoil, but she is much stronger than them.
Jade, come on, what are you...
She's doing it. She's making it happen.
Wait, no. Look at the typo.
Happen.
No, that's on purpose. That one is on purpose.
It happen.
This is a date, dummies.
No, stop!
Dude.
Karkat makes his fist so tight that his nubby fingernails pinch his skin. Dave does the opposite. He makes a flat palm and raises it as if to stop traffic.
No. Let me show you. You have to. Turn it flipwise.
She turns Dave's hand so that is cupping Karkat's angry little fist in his palm. When she pries Karkat's fingers open finally, they snap close around Dave's almost automatically. Karkat's aids go a little light bulb like. Dave's gone pale and a bit sweaty. Jade claps, then makes a rectangle with her thumbs and forefingers, framing her hand holding two decades at the center of it. She's taking a picture with her brain right now, Dave and Karkat, being all shy and intimate, with a romantic backdrop with a brilliant twilight behind them. A pretty portrait. Put her in the middle of it, and it's a work of art. Just what she wants the rest of her life to be. After all, where would these two pitiful beta boys be without it?
See? I don't mind at all. I would never try to... Fucking hell, you moved.
I know.
I would never try to break up what you two have. I'm just trying to make it better.
With a satisfied smile, Jade dips under their arms and hooks their hands around Eve's waist, pulling Dave and Karkat up flush against her. Their fingers remain entwined behind her back. She begins walking them down the ridge of the hill, beaming brighter than the first stars in the sky.
See, isn't this perfect? It could be like this all the time, you know? The three of us in every combination. Or whatever combinations you two are comfortable with. Positions, too! Jade, no! No!
Jade, yes!
No!
God! Jesus Christ!
Homestuck!
I'm going to the floor.
I need a gun. Someone get me a gun.
This is Homestuck now. Live with it.
I love
You
Karkat.
shame me, but you
like-
see what's in front of us to work with here.
You know, when me and my boyfriend, finish Homestuck, I'm not going to expose him to this shit.
Thank you. This was the point. This was the goal. Also,
This is
that's a lesson.
important.
That's a lesson to be taught to you as well, Octo.
Excuse me, I'm
I-
definitely going to be showing this
No!
to the person I'm showing Homestuck.
No!
They have to see this.
Please, spare them.
Absolutely not!
Look, I will tell my boyfriend to it like this. I'm not gonna read it again, but if he wants to go read it on his own, he can damn well please.
I'm into grub. I'm into grub. I'm
You're into
into
grubs?
nubby.
Oh, no.
I'm into nubby horned troll sex.
I know. I
only
was
for the
with you
nubby
for that
horn
period
troll.
of. I was with you for that period of your life.
I am aware you know, but there's two innocent people here who need to know that I like me some nubs.
The nub.
Yeah, no, you had a
His Kit
fucking
Kat with
you
his
had
Kit Kat
no,
horns.
No, just trust me. Like this bitch had the biggest boner for Kankry.
Cankry!
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Oh yeah.
That was back when people still used Skype.
Yeah. Yep.
And
It
when
was
you
way
used
back.
and when we all used Pester Chum.
I'm starting
yeah.
to Dirk.
Oh, yeah.
That
I still sleep with the body pillow of Dirk.
Oh, I
wish
know
I
you
had
do.
one.
I know you do, and I judge you for it heavily every time I talk to you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, you guys want to know where I sleep? I sleep in a bed, y'all. Dave
Yeah,
has
you
gone
need to high five.
catatonic.
What is a
You
bed?
sleep in a big thing
Dust.
of goo?
Dave has gone catatonic.
Bed life. Bed
Just
good.
As quiet.
Sorry.
But it's a quiet that's as loud and alarmed as his actual voice. He's got his head turned away from the situation he's been forced to. As far as it will go. He's concentrating so hard on looking elsewhere that he trips over a rock and is ultimately saved by Jade picking the three of them up off the ground as she takes flight. Cockat's legs flail when his feet go out from under him.
Ah, don't do that! You know I fucking hate it!
Jade sets them back on the ground, heckling like the witch she is. Coquette still won't look at her. She stops laughing abruptly, sensing that her plan isn't going as well as she had hoped. She views the two boys as a broken electrical circuit, and herself as the conductor between the two charged points. She just needs to maneuver it into the correct configuration, like she did with her hands. She does a few quick calculations in her head, refusing to give up on her assumption that relationship issues can be solved the same way math problems can.
Don't worry, Carcat. There's nothing to be scared of. We'll take care of you, right, Dave?
Dave doesn't answer. She answers for him by leaning down and planting a dry, affectionate kiss on Carcat's face. He yelps and leaps away like he's been scalded by a burning iron, liberating himself from the deeply uncomfortable hug triad.
Okay, that is it! I am drawing a fucking line in the sand right here and now. Jade, you will cease this endless violation of my person with your mouth, fingers, and occasionally your fucking tail. I am not a piece of meat that you can brutally and viciously molest whenever you're bored.
Brutally and viciously?
Alright, it's possible I'm overreacting, but that's my fucking right! As a free and autonomous person with a certain degree of fundamental bodily sovereignty endowed to him by the gods of motherfucking consent.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope you understand what I'm getting at here, which is that I want you to stop doing shit like kissing me without asking my permission first.
Carcat, you're absolutely right. And I couldn't agree more with you on issues of consent, as everyone who's gotten to know me well enough is perfectly aware. But I'm not the one who kissed you, silly.
What?
Oh.
Jade covers her mouth coquettishly and winks.
It was Dave!
Dave turns around, shoulders going rigid and eyes popping open, like he's just awoken from one of the terrible, sweaty nightmares he was projecting onto his hand earlier.
What?
You kissed Carcat! Finally!
No, I didn't. Why would I?
Dave hesitates. Jade is giddy with anticipation. She couldn't possibly look more pleased by her own handiwork.
Oh my god.
I have
It's a
no
math
idea what you're
problem.
talking about. I would
It's a
never.
math
You're whack,
problem.
Jade. I'm not.
Whack!
Why would I kiss Carcat? I've never even once thought about kissing Carcat. How would you even fucking do it? He's so petite.
I'm what?
You're like, yeah. I'm gonna admit that was a weird thing to say, and has got dick all to do with your kissability.
God damn it, can we stop talking about this yet?
What I mean is, like, how could somebody kiss this guy? Like, anybody, when his teeth are so...
When my teeth are fucking what?
Dude, they're just... Like, they're huge and not always in your mouth. So, like, how would a guy get his tongue in there?
Tongue?
Carcat begins hyperventilating and momently forgets his beef with Jade long enough to lean on her to prevent himself from toppling over.
You'd have to be really careful, like... I mean, if you were intending to kiss Carcat, I mean, it's not like I've put any thought into this, but you'd have to be so careful, like, just so totally gentle in your approach because he's so...
Enough! Cease! I command you!
You know, like this. I don't know, I'm just spitballing, and this is literally the first time the thought has, like, ever popped in my head. But upon earnest reflection, I don't know if I'm up to the task.
Oh my god, I love this. I changed my mind about this chapter.
Right, I fucking told you! I knew this was some good shit!
Dave's mouth hangs open a bit. His gaze flits from Carcat to Jade and back again. His palms are wet, but his mouth is dry.
I'm
These
not.
weak
I was
arm spaghetti.
I'm not. I was never. We're not.
Dave's mumbling protest slows to a stop.
Actually, you know what? I don't have time for this. Peace, dudes.
Bye!
Dave ollies the hell out of there, flash stepping between 1 second to the next.
Nobody's gonna
disappearing
kill you
30
if you
seconds
curse, I
into the
promise!
future.
Dave
Gusto
always
of a
HE
piece
double
of
hockey sticks out of
Garbage
there.
flying into the sun. Jade stares after him, blinking at the glare of the afterimage he left behind. It's a glimmering slice of ultraviolet that only she can see. It lingers in the unstable particles between the air. She huffs and puts her hands on her hips.
Wow, rude. I forget sometimes how immature Dave can be. Well, Carcat, I guess it's just us. Do you still want to go split the plateau of grub spaghetti at the noodle barn?
Carcat, when she returns to address him, is staring at her slack-jawed. He takes a step back, but isn't watching where he puts his foot. His heel goes into a dip in the hill, and he goes stumbling backwards, feet overhead.
Yeah, fuck! Jade, would you fuck? Ow! A little help, maybe? Ah!
Jade could probably catch him. Actually, she could easily do it. But it doesn't seem like the kind of favor you should do in a fledgling vicissitude. So instead, she watches him roll all the way to the foot of the hill, knees and elbows bouncing around, all ragdolled and furious as he swears up a storm. He hits the ground back first and just lays there for a few minutes, completely owned. He watches the darkening sky with a hollow look on his face for at least an entire minute. Then, he slowly pulls himself to his feet and brushes the brambles off his pants. He points up to the hill at Jade and shouts.
For the record, just so we're both clear, this is why I hate leaving the fucking house!
He absconds, limping a little and rubbing the left side of his palm, which, unfortunately for him, affords nowhere near the level of
What's
pattern
crack bum?
as Jake's legendary backside. Jade puffs out both of her cheeks and stares after them.
Well, I guess I'm eating grub spaghetti alone. Again!
Sounds like this isn't the first fucking time this has happened, you dog shit.
Dog shit!
Oh
Okay,
my god.
so
Okay,
I'm gonna...
that started off really bad, but got super, super good.
I loved that so fucking much.
Like, Jade,
Ignore the residue, Carcat.
like, just to, like, take Jade out of the equation and only look at, like, Dave and Carcat, and it's perfect.
I fucking love that so much.
I'm writing
Like
up
I
my
said,
review right now.
I'm gonna have residue Carcat for a bit.
Carcat residue in your bones.
Oh, it's in my bones, guys.
Aw.
I can't fucking get it out.
I'm
Just
gonna-
makes me sound like I'm fucking got a sore throat.
I give that a 1.5 out of 2. That was pretty good.
What would it
Fucking
take to
love
get a
that.
2?
Take
What
Jade
would
out
it
of
take?
it.
Without
Take-
Jade
take-
being cringy, probably.
Take the Jade cringe out.
Yeah, no, like make
No,
Jade,
no,
make
Jade, you're
Jade
supposed to
not
cringe.
that. Like,
It's-
make Jade the supportive friend she used to be, and not this.
Yeah, Jade, you're kind of being super cringe right now.
Jade lived on an island for the first 13 years of her life with no human contact.
Why would
Oh,
that
she
mean?
just finally
Why would
decided.
that make her sexual though?
She lived on a spaceship for 3 years without any human contact.
Why would that make her sexual? You still haven't answered the question.
She is
It doesn't matter,
starved and she has
because-
dog genes.
It doesn't matter. She has
She's
lost
wearing
subscriber.
dog pants, as he just said.
I mean, look. The thing is that it makes
No,
sense.
it's
It makes sense. It's just a bad exploration of the character.
It really is. Like, if they explored it in a better way, I'd be fine with it.
This is how it makes me feel. I'm gonna put that on
Yeah,
the
I
fucking.
feel the same.
Also, I'm finally looking at the fucking chat on your stream because I hadn't had it open since I was drawing. I mean, I'm still
Yeah.
kind of fucking drawing, but I didn't even have it open
Let me
before.
add
Now I
to
do.
that GIF as well, June. This is how it makes me feel.
This is the GIF. No. No.
Stop. No, I'm getting the gun. I'm getting the Arabic gun.
You know how it makes me feel? Do you really want to know?
You realize that I'm not posting that fucking shit in the stream.
Yeah,
it's
some
a-
more.
It's a skeleton removing its arm and saying that that's a little humorous, but spelled like the bone.
Sans.
Hang on, let me just do a little.
Hang on, I need some fucking.
Here, I'll send some more gifts that are definitely me.
Did you
Ish.
want rule
Like this one.
35 /Jade Harley?
Hey, stream audience, check this
Oh.
shit out. I just played your Gamzee Sans thing.
Wait, look.
The Gamzee Sans thing.
Hell yeah. Oh, fucking yeah.
The horn megalovania.
I love that. I love that. That's
Okay.
exactly what I did.
Okay. I have-
Hell
It's your
yes.
time to shine.
Okay.
The thing is that
Oh
last
my god.
last time you did it, it sounded like you were still trying to do Terezi as like a teen. I feel like you gotta push the voice a little deeper.
Oh fuck.
That's
Wow,
me.
Hadron, that's literally you. That's a very literal interpretation of you.
Literally you.
That's what you look like right now. In
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Where even are you? And why haven't you sliced Makara in half yet?
He smells too bad. I don't think I want to risk getting that close to him until he takes a bath. Even then, I'd rather not. As for where I am at, I'm not sure you would believe me if I were to told you.
I bet you would.
Hey,
Okay.
you wanna
Is
try that
I?
again? You said you.
Well,
Whatever.
oh, I bet I would.
Okay. I'm on a date.
Alright. You alright, Rainy?
Yeah.
I just heard a little clicking, that's all.
No, I clickety clackety keyboard.
Oh, I see. Okay. Proceed.
Don't LOL at me.
I can't help it. It's hilarious. Who are you out on a date with?
Why don't you take a guess?
Okay, it's obviously Roxy.
Oh.
What's wrong now? You asked me to guess, so I guessed.
I'm just wondering if I was really that obvious.
Yeah, John. We are not idiots. We can all do the math on this. It's not like you were going to fuck your human mom or human sister, and you are not a homosexual, which takes Strider's dick out of the question. and Kanaya is the only girl troll left, and she, lesbian, married one of the 2 remaining eligible human females. Oh, and Jake is a double threat, a human dad with a human dick. So by process of elimination, of course you were going to fall in love with Should I say that again? A human
Please,
dad
I'm
with a
fucking-
human dick.
Wait a minute.
Oh, and Jake is a double threat, a human dad with a human dick.
God, stop, you're killing her!
That's the point. I wanted to be a skeleton. She's got a laugh die to do
The
that.
skeleton army is big enough!
And Jake is a double threat, a human dad with a human dick.
You're scaring my cat!
Okay.
Stop your
Okay.
No!
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, and
No,
Jake
don't.
is a double threat, a human dad with a human dick.
Okay. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. We're all good. Let's move on.
We're
Dick.
I need to pour myself some more water, but keep going. My fridge is literally within earshot of the microphone.
Great.
Oh my god.
Keep going.
Okay,
Someone
wait.
just gotta.
You have another line.
There we go. Okay.
There's a Terezi.
The Terezi line.
Oh wait, what are you talking?
You missed a
So
line.
by
Whoa.
process.
Oh no, I did. So my process. No, I read that.
Yeah.
You said-
We're
wait.
still laughing.
Since June started dying.
It didn't count. I was
I
dying.
kept reading, yeah. So by process of elimination, of course you were going to fall in love with Roxy.
Wait.
It's
Is
below
there a
the.
narrator for this one?
Am I reading this?
Who
No, 'cause
narrated?
you were reading
Uh,
John. So.
I can do narrator. Love? Is that how John feels about Roxy? He glances around at this beautiful restaurant she's taken him to. Marble walls, a domed ceiling, alien plants growing up to the scaffolding to the 2nd floor. It's lit by a cobweb of ultra-thin clear wire strung with lights, so that it looks like there are fireflies suspended above at the fake night
Oh my
sky.
god, that's literally
It's a good
thing.
place to fall in love, probably.
Well, this heterosexuality is pretty cringe.
Stepped outside and now monitors the date with his face pressed against the window. He's smearing
Wait, what the
his
fuck?
disgusting
You didn't-
makeup
I
against
wasn't
the
scrolled down. I
glass
thought you were
without
reading off of my
slightest
screen.
concern for propriety. John accidentally makes eye contact with him, and Gamzee gives him a thumbs up. A chill runs down John's spine, so he goes back to his conversation with Terezi. No, I
I'm
have to side up
waiting.
now. I couldn't take it.
Still waiting. Egbert, are you there or can I go now?
Yeah, I just had to think about that for a second. Do you really think I'm in love with her?
How the hell would I know that? I'm not a mind reader.
Oh, aren't you? I thought that's what your mind thingy powers did.
No, I'm just an exceptionally good read of people. Not that I would have to be to tell that you've been flushed
Read
for
of
Roxy.
people. Why is it read of people, not reader of people? Fuck. There's so many mistakes.
Good read is a way of saying it. You can say that.
You
I guess-
it's very weird, but valid.
Okay. Fine.
Maybe not valid for something Terezi would say.
Like how you
Yeah.
can say a book is a good read. A
But
person
she
can
is
be a good read.
texting, so she is talking shorthand.
I guess.
Not that I would have to be to tell that you've been flushed for Roxy since you met her.
Yeah, I guess that's true. How do you think she feels about me?
If you're out on a date with her, I don't think that the one you should be asking that. Wait, I don't think that I'm the one you should be asking that question.
I mean, would that be an okay thing to ask her? That seems kind of, I don't know, dopey.
John, I hate to tell you this, but there's not much you could do at this point to increase your dopiness attribute. You've already pretty much maxed out the dork stat, and I can only imagine that the positive correlation between your continued existence and the amount of sheer dweebness you emit has returned expected equilibrium in the time that I've been gone.
Jeez, you always know what to say to people in their hour of need, Terezi. I'm so glad that I decided to talk to you.
You should be glad. I'm doing you a big favor, as usual. The sheer magnum... Oh, boy. The sheer...
Magnanimously.
It's supposed to be sheer. The seer magnanimously descending from her mountain and deigning to give the hapless human peerless advice.
Well, see, it was Seer because she's referring to herself.
Yeah,
The seer. She's a seer.
I thought it was sheer.
Yeah, no, I get it.
What, you think she's gonna go fucking get some wool?
Okay.
That might be what she's doing since she did say seer.
I'm talking about how you mistook it for sheer.
Yeah, that too.
What?
Anyway, go ahead.
Imagine me rolling my eyes super hard right now, because that's what I'm doing.
Noted, but trust me, the worst thing you can do when attempting to initiate a flush relationship is to be evasive. Roxy is actually incredibly difficult to read, but I think she's the last person who would ever try to jerk you around. She'll appreciate you being upfront. The only thing I wonder is what happened with Calliope. They seemed so happy.
Yeah, that's been bothering me too. Callie was actually the one who convinced me to stay. Roxy was all over me the moment I said I wasn't going.
Going where?
Oh, to fight Lord English.
You were supposed to fight Lord English?
Yeah, I guess.
But you just decided not to?
Look, it's a long story. Actually, it's not, but that's not why I texted you. I'll tell you some other time. Right now, what I think I need to figure out is how I feel about the whole Calliope thing. I'm not afraid to ask Roxy how she feels about me, I guess. But I think that I'm afraid to ask about...
Roxy finally comes back from the restroom. He hears her heels click-clacking on the floor, and shoves his phone into his pocket in a panic before he can follow up on the last line of his message. He doesn't know why he does it in a panic. It's not like he's doing anything wrong. In fact, tapping away at the phone when someone leaves you alone at a table is completely normal. Maybe it's just kind of weird to be talking to a girl under the table while on a date with a completely different girl, no matter what his respective relationships with those two girls might be. His internal Rose voice tisks him for having such a gender-essentialist thought. He wonders if he'd feel quite as guilty if he were talking to Rose under the table instead of Terezi. Probably not, which is a whole tangle of stuff he didn't even want to think about. He shoots Roxy a big bright grin when she slips into her seat. She grins back. He's genuinely glad to be here. Roxy is beautiful. The restaurant is beautiful. Feels like he's fumbling at something existentially beautiful here. There's something about the way she's looking at him that makes him glad he got out of bed today. It makes him, for the first time in years, excited about the idea that the future is the thing that exists.
Sorry for taking so long. Had to reapply the face. You know how it is. Actually, you probably don't, but let me tell you, makeup's a bitch.
Roxy, you don't have to do all that for me. I'm basically a schlub these days. I don't care if you wear makeup or not. You're pretty either way. You know that, right?
Oh, don't worry. It's not for you, lol. But that's sweet as hell. I appreciate the sentiment.
That's cool. Why do you need it then?
Oh no. John, do you ever think about, like, gender?
Oh no.
Not really, I guess.
Boy.
But I don't think girls should feel like they have to wear makeup just because they're girls.
Well, that's not what I'm getting at.
What do you mean then? Are you like...
Like, what?
I don't know. I don't really know what we're talking about.
Well, I don't really know either, I guess. Anyway, we don't gotta get super into it now. This really isn't the setting. I don't know if you noticed, but this place is way too fancy for me. Lumfao.
Oh.
Why?
Lumfao.
Say it like a normal person does when they're out in the wild and they say
Oh
that shit.
god. That's making me remember when I did Roxy voices just to make you
Lumfao.
blush. You remember when I used to do Roxy voices just to make you flush?
You did that to anyone who, if you could replicate a character's voice that they had a fucking boner for.
Oh yeah. That was my favorite thing to
Wow.
do. Make people embarrassed.
Yeah, and you fucking did it.
Well, anyway.
I noticed, but this place is way too fancy for me. I don't know if they. Oh.
Little foul. I was all trying to
Holy
impress
foul.
you with how I'm classy fuck. But
Sky, I am now
we're gonna have
legal.
to come on a click.
Sky, I am now
Jack.
legally required to body tackle you, to shoulder tackle you when we meet. I just want to let you know so you're prepared.
I think you should know that I read Candy first, so at this part of the epilogue, I was freaking out.
Okay. I meant for saying LFMAO like that.
Little
Oh.
foul.
Now it's 2 shoulder tackles. I'm making sure you're prepared.
Oh, by the way, Roxy, if you ever want me to read that Roxy voice just to sass it up, I could.
Anyway,
That's why she doesn't want me to read it.
I want to hear the Roxy voice in person.
I was all trying to impress you with how classy as how I'm classy as fuck, but now I feel like we're gonna have to skip out on the check.
Even though we've got infinite money?
Yeah, just a feeling I get. Like this fancy dress as a costume, like I'm play acting at being a grown-up woman.
Yeah, I know that feeling. What even are adults?
Good question.
When I was a kid, I just thought adulthood was something that happened to you automatically, I think. Like the moment I turned 18, a briefcase would appear in my hands, my face would disappear, and I'd have it all figured out, just like my dad seemed to. I can't believe I'm 23 and still a huge loser. I wonder if my dad ever thought that way about himself. Like he was just some big dumb kid, totally messing everything up, but trying to keep up appearances anyway.
Don't say that about yourself, dummy.
So, I'm a dummy, but I shouldn't call myself dumb?
OMG, you know what I meant. I mean, you know what I meant. You know what I meant.
You gotta say all smart.
Actually, is already in Homestuck. That's what Mulin says. She says Mog out loud.
That's not the same as
No, it's because they mixed up the letters as a reference to Gog. There's many layers to it. There's many
It
layers
just
to it.
keeps on the Roxy voice, you know?
Hey, I am drinking wine.
You guys make her all squirmy.
Existence is suffering.
Oh, I'm having a dandy good
You gotta have that hiccup laugh.
There's
I'm
narration.
the narrator. I forgot I was the
Yeah,
narrator.
yeah.
Roxy runs one of her thin fingers around the inside of her water glass. It makes a very quiet squeaking noise that you can hear over the mumbled conversation around him because they're sitting so very close. Her lashes look about twice as long in the low, pale light. They shadow her eyes so that he can't read her expression.
Yeah, I didn't even know any adults when I was a kid. So I got nothing except the legends of how my universes rose and Dave died, I guess. But that's not exactly a useful example in this situation.
I don't know. I think sacrificing yourself to take down a brutal clown dictatorship is a pretty good life lesson to internalize in any situation.
Well, yeah, God forbid. But, I mean, my idea of a date for the longest time was drinking a whole bottle of wine alone, crying in front of my laptop screen.
Oh, same, actually. Minus the wine. head in the computer screen.
That's a good joke. That's a really good joke.
Dying alone and
That's it. That's just a really good joke. Just you and your brain contemplating the infinite loneliness of singular consciousness in a vast cold universe.
Something like that. So, I guess neither of us are really good at this. Huh.
It's cool with me. Zero expectations mean we got nowhere to go but up.
I'll toast to that.
John lifts
Cheers,
his
I'll drink
glass
that.
as a cute and cliche thing to do, expecting no reciprocation, but she laughs and actually humors him. The glasses clink together clumsily and water gets all over the complimentary breadsticks. She starts laughing harder.
Oh, John, why didn't we do this sooner? I love spending time with you. You know, it's weird to say, but no one else has ever made me feel like this. Wow, this heterosexuality is pretty fucking cringe.
For some reason, those...
Heterosexuality?
Yeah, I fucked up, okay?
no, you just made a Roxy quirk.
What are
That's
these
all that
pets
is.
doing?
That's just Roxy
For
quirk.
some reason, those words make the pit in his stomach grow. He lets out a nervous giggle. His arms start to shake so violently that he even gets more water on the free breadsticks.
Heterosexuality
He's
is killing
slugged under
him.
the collar. It's a panic, like what he felt when Roxy almost caught him texting Terezi under the table, except in reverse. What about Calliope, he thinks. John can't tell what Roxy is thinking. She's so warm and open and inviting, but when John looks into her eyes, it's almost like he's staring into a void.
Oh. So what the look behind you.
What?
He whips his head around to see Dave?
Dave?
He's running down the street looking back and forth like a hunted man. He walks down and freezes for a moment, obviously trying to compose himself. No one goes still quite like a Strider. He brushes past Gamzee, who is still glued to the window to spy on the date, and swaggers into the restaurant. The look on his face seems to suggest he's about to throw it. He keeps it together. His interest is so smooth that all the dining carapations in the vicinity immediately stop talking and stare at him as he glides at the table. Dave sits his hand in front of the free breadsticks and angles a look at John through the panels of his shades. It looks like he hasn't slept, but it's hard to tell with Dave. He's out of breath.
Hey, dude. And Roxy, hey, dude.
Oh, do you want me to read Dave or?
Yeah,
do
I would rather
Roxy?
somebody else did Roxy, yeah.
Okay. Hey, dude, and Roxy. Rather, hey, dudes. Sorry to imply that dude wasn't a gender-neutral term because it totally is. Anyone can be a dude if they really want. That's part of the beauty of living in this brand new world with none of the baggage our old world had, like gender and sexuality and relationships, only involving a very specific number of people.
Dave, you okay?
Yeah, totally. When am I not okay?
He often, actually.
Nah, I'm fine. There's absolutely nothing strange or awkward going on in my life at all. Unrelated to anything I just said. John, I gotta talk to you for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I mean like outside, in private, with no one else around.
You sure you're okay?
Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Sorry, that was me being sarcastic about how you're all worried over me when I'm just ice fucking cold levels of cool all at the moment. Not referencing that you're my literal mom, which I know is all kinds of awkward every single time I do it, which is a lot, I guess.
Lamau, I don't think it's awkward at all.
Oh, cool. Me neither, Mom.
Roxy's right. You seem kind of off right now.
Nah, I just had a sudden need for a bro down. Just an unquenchable thirst to be showered in a flash storm of righteous bro juice.
Yikes.
Gotta guzzle the shit out of it like Gatorade after a sports match. Help me out here, bro. Electrolytes are low.
Oh my
There's the word there.
This is peak Dave
Help
right
me out here, my bro. Electrolytes are low. John, just come on, it's important.
Yeah, sure. Roxy, are you fine waiting here by yourself for a while?
Yeah, I'll just be here eating breadsticks since we didn't actually order dinner.
Cool. I'll be right back.
Dave shoves his hand in his pockets and leads John out into the cool evening air. Gamzee offers a double thumbs up as they walk past him, which John fiercely ignores. John does, however, check his phone. subtly but
There's no
a little
clown in the window. There's no
desperately,
clown in the window. There's
she
no clown
left
in the window.
Terezi hanging in the middle of a sentence, and he's got to admit, as much fun he's been having with Roxy, there's an annoying little voice screaming at him beneath everything else that he's done and said tonight as desperately needs to know what else Terezi had to say. Behind Dave's back as he leads the way, John swipes the screen to catch up with her answers, smiling, a word. Smiling. Conspiratorially. He's not even with Roxy, and he's already cheating on her.
So my review is heterosexuality is cringe, but it was a fun date. I'm gonna give it a 1.5 out of 2.
The bro moments at the end really made it.
Hell yeah.
Two. Also, Cascade has apparently been playing, and I don't think that's fitting at all, but I do think it's pretty funny.
This is a big epic moment.
I'm muted the stream. That's fine.
No. Huh?
That's fine if I mute the stream, right? I mean, I'll have echo, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I've just been playing music in the background, so like there's not a weird silence when we stop talking. That's all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I just think it was funny that Cascade is like halfway through. So anyway, that was 6 through 10. Oh wow, 11 is actually an immediate follow-up, but that was a fun stream. We're doing 5 per thing, so nothing wears its
Next
welcome.
one's gonna be real good.
We should do one more.
If we do one more, we gotta do 5 more.
Yeah! Come
We
on.
can do 5 more.
Come on.
I have energy for 5 more.
Are
Me
you sure?
too.
Is everyone
Yeah.
here? Is everyone here cool with 5 more?
I gotta be right back. I drank a whole lot of water.
Okay, how about this? We'll take 5 and then do 5.
Well, okay, hang on. I need to put something on the stream. Let me just
Be right back, stream.
add text.
I'm gonna mute myself for a moment.
Denial care.
You're reading my
Where's
tweet.
Right?
Just now, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that shit in the way home, and I was like, "What the fuck? Am I dyslexic?"
No, just reading too fast.
Let's see. Let's make that.
I love a bee.
What the
Alright,
fuck?
I'm gonna go get myself some more juices. And I'm gonna call it that.
Birthing juices.
Yes. Sure. Absolutely what is happening currently. Not like I was actually getting another can of Coca-Cola.
God damn it!
Birthing juices, definitely.
Aren't you so sick?
Me? No. I got over that,
I'll be right back as well.
I
Damn,
believe,
you
like
recovered
Saturday.
quickly.
I've been sick so many times in my life.
I'm just
That's
gonna
the end of that
have.
sentence. I've just been sick so many times in my life.
Shush.
Alright, anyway, Coca-Cola.
Please look at the stream, just for a moment.
Okay, give me a second. Piss break, piss break.
We're a very professional stream.
Absolutely.
I can also just switch to this one.
Okay, but piss break though.
This break, yes. Heterosexuality is pretty cringe. Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
I return.
Oh my god, I found something beautiful on my Twitter timeline.
Uh-huh. Oh, are we good? Okay, I'm removing piss break, and I'm removing piss break. Okay.
Should we stick with the same places for this next
Hand him
one?
back.
Okay, awesome. Piss break is over. I didn't actually go anywhere, but no, it's all the same.
Just right there at the desk.
I think I'm gonna do a little narrating because it's been a while since. Yeah.
Sure.
Go for it.
Dave grabs the sleeve of John's. Oh, he was wearing a fucking tux. I don't remember them mentioning that.
They probably didn't, because I don't remember that
Okay.
being the
Seems
thing.
like they don't mention a lot of things.
Well.
Then again, like, I guess Roxy said she was wearing something fancy too.
Oh, that's true. So maybe it was just implied. Dave grabs the sleeve of John's tux in his sweaty palm, and the two of them fly to the top of the nearest tower. John glances at him en route, and the look on Dave's face strikes him as that of a man condemned to death. The stars
right.
stand out along the skyline, so bright in this new world that the outline of every constellation is crisp and clear, even in the middle of the sky. Dave cups his hands over his knees and stares straight ahead.
Yo, John, what do you think about me
I'm
and
back.
Cat?
Oh. Whoops.
We're already started.
We jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
You have a John line. Are you gonna
I-
take it still?
I thought...
Right on cue, dude.
I thought I heard you say you were back already, so I started.
I said to be right back, and then
Yeah,
I went and got myself a good cold Dr. Thunder, although it's lukewarm.
Did you
All right.
wait? Oh my god. My hearing is very bad tonight because I heard Dr. Cumder.
That's
Yeah.
about the same thing.
That's that actor name, right? That's that actor dude?
The Cumberbatch?
Yeah, he was in that one show. Alright.
Yeah.
You two are pretty cute together, I guess.
Together. I need you to be way more specific here.
Oh, okay. I guess I have to say that you're both cute individually when you're with each other and you make cute friends, which is why you're cute together. Something about it just works. I feel like I'm saying cute a lot here. For the record, I don't mean you're cute as an individual, no offense. Alone, you're just Dave. But together, yeah, you guys are cute.
Together, you mean like a couple?
Alright. Dave says this so neutrally that John has no idea how to read it, despite having years of practice reading Dave's many neutral tones.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Why?
Didn't I just explain it? Good friends make good partners. You're similar in all the right ways and different in all the even more right ways. You two balance each other out and keep each other from going off the rails. Like when you were kids.
Huh.
Midnight Cruise playing
You,
the acapella one.
you were both kind of crazy when we were kids. Again, no offense.
That's not what I was saying, about. I was saying, because that sure was a coherent Egbertian thesis on the state of the Dave Cat situation.
Well, I've thought about it that way for a long time. I think it's what everyone else thinks too.
I don't know. If I'd been thinking about it that way, I wouldn't be in the mess I'm in right now.
You're in a mess?
Yeah, there's a metric fuck ton of shit about to come down on me because I dragged my heels on doing something serious self-reflection.
Is this just some more stuff about being gay?
Maybe, yeah. Okay, definitely, yeah. It's 110% about being gay.
I thought you'd already worked out all that stuff.
Turns out it takes a long time to figure out your sexuality after a childhood filled with repression and abuse.
Dave.
I mean, yeah, I woke the hell up in my inner potential for gayness in a big way, but then I just kind of pressed the snooze button and rolled back over because we kind of had to fight all those jacks and also create a society.
Holy frick. There's a gay snooze button?
Yeah, man, you know you can curse. There's a gay snooze button.
Wow.
When I was having my gay cool boy awakening, it wasn't a full no homo, but it was at least quarter no homo. If I hadn't done that, then instead of talking to you about this, I'd be at home right now. I thought it said I'd be a homo right now. Kissing Carcat, probably.
I don't get this, Dave. Am I your gay confessor or something? You don't need my blessing to go kiss Carcat. In fact, I was pretty sure you were already kissing Carcat.
Nope.
In that case, as the Lord Pope of Dave's fully awakened gaydom, I give you my blessing to immediately leave and rectify that as soon as possible. Go now, my child, and kiss Carcat right on the lips.
Okay, as much as I appreciate how weird a thing that was to say, it's not that simple.
I might not exactly be the expert, but kissing seems pretty easy, Dave. I'm sure it gets more complicated in later stages, obviously, but I think you can figure out how to get your lips on his without much trouble.
My icon is very appropriate for the person I'm reading right now.
It really is.
No, I mean like someone, anyone.
Oh, right. Dave makes a couple truly useless hand gestures.
In the greater fabric of our weird incestuous social group, it might be the wrong move, I think.
How so?
Because Jade.
John bites his lip. Oh boy, that's a complicated problem, alright. He loves his sister, but she's developed a bad habit of sometimes approaching delicate social situations with all the grace of an elephant stumbling around in a dark room.
Right. I almost managed to forget that she was trying to make you and Carcat get together.
You changed the meaning of the sentence.
Yeah.
Dave snaps his head around to stare at Carcat because he won't fucking curse.
That's not who I am right now.
Sorry. Dave snaps his head around to stare at Hadron, the real Hadron, because he won't curse.
Sonic the Hedgehog want you to say cuss words.
Wait, you knew about that?
Listen. Shout out the headphone curse. This is John saying that, by the way. Yeah?
Where's that
Did you
damn
not?
fourth Chaos Emerald?
Of course I knew about it. I was looking at the whole thing through several complicated layers of conscious denial, but I knew. It's just that you, never leave your house.
Well, it probably helps that Jade literally said the words to me. And I may be paraphrasing here, but... Hey, John. I'm gonna do David Hart.
What the fuck? She said that to you? What did you say?
I don't know, it was a while ago. Probably that was a bad idea. But I thought it was kind of obvious. She's always had a crush on you, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, where's my mouse? He sighs and hangs his head, leaning forward with his elbows crossed over his thighs. The angle he's at gives John a good look into his eyes, which are boring a deep, miserable hole to the center of the earth right now.
That's why I think I should give it a try, I guess.
Give what a try. Dating Jade?
Yeah, and Carcat.
Oh man, Dave. I don't know. It sounds like it could really blow up in your face.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of freaking out right now, if you didn't notice.
Sorry, dude. It's just... Do you even like Jade?
Of course I do. She's one of my best friends.
No, I meant... Do you like her?
Oh my god, John, you're 23 years old. Can you at least pretend to talk like a grown man?
Okay, Dave. God, are you in love with Jade?
Eluve. Eluve. Oh, Dave doesn't answer. His silence says a lot. John thinks. Oh, wait. His silence says a lot, John thinks.
Are you in love with Carcat?
That's a big fucking question. That's the biggest fucking question that ever got asked. It's like the Paleolithic megafauna of questions. Like, it's so familiar, but your eyes just glaze over and it glaze over it in denial because it's too fucking big. Why did megalodon sharks need to have such big jaws, John?
The smaller sharks?
I've never been so fucking terrified by a question in my entire life. Seriously, my heart is pounding so hard right now that I feel like I'm gonna hurl.
Well, doesn't that answer the question?
Nah, because it's not like I feel nothing for Jade. In fact, I feel a whole lot of things for her. Too many to just tell her off after all this time. I mean, she spent all those years alone on the ship, and I know she missed me. And then Dave Sprite died, or turned into a fucking Dave Petta. I was never clear exactly on what happened there, and God knows he didn't make any attempt to clear the fucking air with her. But when I think about it, neither did I, so maybe I'm just a huge asshole who's been leading her on for like a whole goddamn decade at this point. And if I have been, don't I owe it to her to at least try?
If that's your logic, Dave, then haven't you been being Karkat on too? Doesn't he deserve the same chance? I mean, if you think it's kind of a decision you can lay on a little person like this, why don't you just flip a coin? And also, it's not Dave Pett. It's Devepeda.
No, I've never heard that.
He tilts his face so that he can give John a look. The corner of his lip quirks ambiguously.
Have you been talking to Terezi? Damn, I thought she ghosted everyone.
Not me, I guess.
Huh. Anyway, I know you thought that sounded like a totally cool thing to say, but I don't really think you grasp the full metaphysical implications of whatever you're quoting there.
Dave sits up and leans back on his palms, his voice sounding lighter in a subtle, almost ephemeral way, now that the subject's changed to something as easy as metaphysics. He catches John's gaze and makes a rolling gesture with his hand, mimicking the way a practiced magician would flick a coin over their thumb.
Do you know what a coin flip is? Like, universally, I mean, in the grand scale of all this time-space infinite string theory bullshit we're always dealing with?
Of course. It's like when you know that you've already made the decision you were talking about and need an outside force to show you how you really feel.
No, dude, that's dumb. You should know this because you've done the retcon thing.
What does that have to do with flipping coins?
Okay, so every time you flip a coin, you're creating an alternate timeline, right? One where it lands heads and one where it lands tails. Well, while the coin is flipping, both possibilities exist simultaneously.
Well, what if you do sure that you make the same decision no matter which side landed up?
I need Rexy to scroll the fuck
Oh,
up to
right.
see what I would say. Where the fuck is it? You can't.
Son, you can't.
Yeah, I just got it.
So, it's like the coin never lands now?
Sure.
Then if you did both Jade and Karkat, it'd be like you're winning the Schrodinger's cat paradox.
Yeah, that's another theoretical paradox that I think you gotta read up on a bit more there, buddy.
I probably won't, but okay.
Fair enough. But yes, metaphysics aside, me dating both Jade and Kark at the same time literally is the issue at hand. It is that with which I currently and explicitly struggle.
Yeah. Sure seems that way.
So,
I don't know, Dave. It's all just, it doesn't sound right to me.
John thinks about the speech Rose gave him that morning on a couch about canon veracity and the validity or non-validity of subjective actions the further they get away from the intended sequence of events. Something about pillars, which is essential, true, and relevant. He remembers those three words, but no other contextual remarks which bind them. That conversation seems so very long ago now.
I mean, it doesn't sound canon?
ugh, not you two. Rose is always going on about canon. I don't give a fuck about canon.
Then what do you?
Then what do you?
That's it, huh? That's all you got.
Yeah.
That's all you can't censor that? Then what do you give a fuck about? There, that's how you do it. Coward.
Yeah, well, listen, I made a promise, never to swear.
Promise
So,
to
so,
who?
To
easy.
who?
It's a spite.
To our Lord and Savior, Mark Hamill.
Spite. Spite.
Yes. Continue.
Are you like giving
Jean-
up for Lent or something? Jeez.
The cankry of curse words.
Dave sighs and runs a hand through his hair.
Doing the right thing, I guess.
This doesn't seem hard to me at all, Dave. Go home right now and tell Karkat how you feel.
Look, I can't. If I did that, it would be like
Like what, Dave? Like you would be really happy and Karkat would also be really happy?
oh, I'm not explaining myself right. I need to.
Dave staggers uneasily to his feet, staring way past John like he's looking into the infinity of his own soul right now. John's never seen him so scared, and it's over what seems like a pretty easy choice as far as John's concerned. It isn't easy for him, though. John guesses this is what it means to be a friend. It means being the guy who understands when easy isn't actually that easy.
I have to talk to Dirk, I think.
Okay.
John wonders when talking to Dirk has fixed anything for anyone. He's about to ask what exactly it is he needs to talk to Dirk about, but then remembers what he saw when he went back to fetch Gamzee's fridge in the medium. Dirk and Dave hugging on the edge of the roof, sharing something private and mysterious, the sort of thing that can only happen between two people whose personalities are cracked in the same way. It's not something John's ever had, so it's not something he can understand. An uncomfortable silence lingers between the two of them. Before John can fill it with some stupid words, he hears Roxy calling up to him from below. He pops his head over the roof and waves at her.
You know what has to happen now since you're still narrating.
No.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, John.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
Yo, boys, not to interrupt, but we got kicked out the restaurant for not ordering.
What? Really? What's even the point of being famous if that can happen?
Well, now I don't know, right? I told you I wasn't classy enough for the giant. I got all these breadsticks, though, so we can reconvene in the park. So it's romantic. 10 minutes. What you say?
Sheer hubris of these people. Sounds good. I'll see you there soon.
Roxy, what are you doing? You gotta narrate.
I'm under my desk. Okay.
Do people still remember the puts breadsticks in purse meme? Because that's what this is referencing.
Oh. She grins a bit, John, with shimmering, adoring eyes. They're reflecting every star in the sky. Oh, for him. It makes his heart do a weird somersault. It tries to flip frontways, then backwards, and ends up landing on its face instead. He's feeling too many contradictory things right now. When he turns to look at Dave again, he's practically translucent, barely there, half out the door emotionally. John feels like he could have done more, like this whole conversation was sand running through his fingers. It itches at the back of his head, the idea that he might have just fucked up Dave's entire life.
I'm sorry I couldn't help.
No, dude, it's not your fault.
Dave gives him a light bro punch in the arm and tries to smile.
Enjoy your date.
Jake English voice.
It's me, Tally-ho!
Oh, you should come Roxy.
Me lads.
Me lads!
It's me, Sexton Hale!
She's gotta rate that one.
The devil in here.
Saxton Hale! Sorry. What were you saying?
What's your rating this?
Saxon Hale's English.
I give that a croissant out of 5.
That isn't a
It
number.
didn't have overbearing
Man,
heterosexuality like the last.
That is
Um,
a number. What does it equate to?
I'm gonna read out my review as I type it. Less heterosexuality, more homosexuality. Thus, less cringe.
My friend lo-fi hip-hop mix beats decided to have gone over. We started. Right.
Dave opening up is P Epic. Gonna give this one a light 6, and then the score is gonna be
6 out of 2, huh?
a 1 point. A 1 point. Do I dare do 1.55?
No,
Are you serious right now?
No, I'm not. 1.6. It wasn't. Yeah, 1.6 out of 2 seems fair. Yeah, less heterosexuality, more homosexuality, thus less cringe. Dave opening up is P Epic. Gonna give this one a light 6, 1.6 out of 2. Tally ho!
Okay, we gotta see who's
Oh.
voicing. Just look through the colors. So there's Jane.
It's just Jake and Jane. It's a really short one.
I'm doing
Okay.
Jake because of my newly discovered Saxton Hale voice for Jake.
Okay, so who's doing Jane?
God damn you. Randy, I'm assigning you. Randy, I'm kin assigning you Jane.
Okay.
This is the government here to assign you your kin.
All right.
Who's
Then,
She doesn't want me to do it.
look, just let me retweet some satanic bears real quick, and I gotcha.
You know what? You know what? Octo, is that a challenge?
Maybe.
Okay. Octo, or Randy, you know what? You can do the narration for once. I don't think you've done the narration yet.
Okay. Again, just let me retweet these satanic bears.
Okay.
So again, who's doing the Jane voice? There's a lot of fucking typing and no answers. June,
What?
who's doing the Jane voice?
You.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, here it comes.
I'll just turn on my Jane voice.
All right then. Let's start.
Okay.
Okay. Jake wakes up to the unfamiliar feeling of a cheek to his chest and a thigh slung over his stomach. Not that waking up to limbs entwined with some fleeting dalliance was an unfamiliar sensation by any means, but this time something seemed off. He's afraid to open his eyes because he can't remember the last few days. The very last thing he does remember, if any of his recollection are to be trusted, is corking open a bottle of alchemized Merlot at 9 in the morning, as one does, and then doing a brisk session of target practice, which was interrupted by... Oh, fuck. Jake's eyes snap open. His ceiling looks the same as it always does, if a bit tizzy with the eye-splitting headache, sending nails of pain through his skull. The gold-flecked flowers carved into his wood-paneled ceiling glitter them in the morning light. Jake stares very hard at them because he doesn't want to look down and confirm his worst fears. But his worst fears are confirmed for him without having to do anything, unfortunately, which seems par for the course.
Good morning.
Jane sits up in the bed and stretches her arms over her head. Her body is a perfect hourglass in naked profile. Oh boy! Jake's eyes trace the curve of her spine against his will. They linger in the dip above her hips. Her hair is tossed and she's not wearing her glasses. Jake actually has to catch his breath at the sight of her. It's not her attractiveness that was ever in question. It's everything else about the situation which is the problem.
Jane!
So, there you
What
go.
in the blazes is the problem? Or what in the blazes happened?
She turns to face him, giggling into her hand.
Why, Jake, I would imagine that you're practiced enough of sexual congress at this point that I shouldn't have to explain it to you.
Jane, Jane, I am quite aware of my reputation, but I'm not some loose strumpet who enters into relations thoughtlessly.
Oh, lighten up.
Jane blinks and touches a hand to her collarbone, like she doesn't quite recognize herself.
Oh dear, did you hear what I just said?
Lighten up?
It's been quite a while since I thought that way. My, feels freeing to say. Lighten up, Jake. The election's off, the economy is stable. Dirk is probably never going to talk to us ever again, and we finally fucked!
Did we indeed? Did we indeed fuck? Did we indeed fuck? Was it merely plain honky-tonky with our digits? Or did we do the old gamma hooch? Or even worse, the beard splitting?
Oh,
I don't know what to say. I don't know what any of that means, but Jake definitely did it all.
she crawls towards him with a goofy smile, padding along unsteadily because she can't see shit without her spectacles. Jake shoots up in bed and scuttles all the way back until his shoulders hit the frame. Something catches the corner of his eye, and he swivels his head around to see the trickster lollipop on his bedside table. Oh no. It sits like evidence at the murder scene, beneath an empty bottle of vodka and far more sets of underwear than the number of purple accounted for in this room.
The number of purple accounted for in this room.
Zero.
I
No
told you I
purple
was
here.
There's no purple in this room. There's no clowns in this room, so we're all good.
Honk! Jake says...
Sorry, I sounded like a YouTube poop, so I had to.
Jake says, but Jane shuts him with her finger over his lips. She slides into his lap and settles her bottom into the space between his thighs. There's a blanket between the lurid parts of their naked bodies, but Jake cannot rightly move unless he wishes to be dearly compromised. He shudders through several ejections, but Jane is plucking all his strings quite mercilessly. He feels like a snake about to be necked by a mongoose. This feels very non-consensual.
I'm not a huge fan of what is happening here.
Look, I'm into this shit, but I don't like this.
What's the meaning of this lollipop? I thought
Sounds
we agreed
more
never
like,
to.
Rick.
I thought we agreed never to use trickster mode when we were unsupervised.
What? The lollipop was your idea.
I must protest, Jane. That does not seem something that I would agree to in a right state of mind.
Well, I'm not sure either of us were exactly in the right state of mind, to be honest. Well, we had quite a bit to drink over the course of the day, and one thing led to another.
Led to partaking in scandalous confection?
I don't
Confections?
know what to tell you, Jake. I'm not pulling your leg. In fact, you were the one doing the vigorous leg pulling last night.
Oh my god.
Criminy!
Jane's expression
Criminy?
falls.
Criminy!
Criminy!
Is it not criminy?
No, it's
Criminy!
It's criminy.
No!
Fuck.
Don't
It's
change
criminy.
your mind!
What?
Okay. Jane's expression falls. She'd been feeling quite buoyed after a night of jolly, if inebriated, fun. But Jake does not seem to share her enthusiasm. Yeah, you fucking wonder!
Was that innuendo a bit too much? I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
No, it's not that, Jane. All of this feels wrong. Now I don't want you to get the wrong idea here. You're a dear friend and I care for you deeply. But I think that what happened between us might have merely been the result of profound inebriation.
Jake regrets the statement as soon as the words leave his mouth. Jane looks absolutely crushed, devastated. Like Jake just ripped the rug out from underneath her entire universe.
What? Are you saying everything we did, it meant nothing to you?
Was that Scottish?
Yeah,
don't
you're
know.
kind of slipping there.
Sorry.
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 Sorry, that isn't what I meant. Jane, I simply...
Jane stares at her. Her eyes so bright they're practically clear, like tropical water on a sunny day. She looks like the girls do right before they're about to cry.
Jake.
Oh, how could he deny her anything?
What am I even saying? I'm being terribly foolish. Sure, we may have overdone it a bit on the substance, perhaps. But you know what? To hell with it. I might not remember everything that happened last night, but I'm sure my passions wouldn't lead me astray. You've always been a lovely girl, Jane, and you've become an even lovelier woman. Why, it's so surprised this didn't happen sooner. May as well, just go with it. Haha.
It's not the most rousing speech Jake has ever given, but it seems satisfactory enough for Jane. He releases a tremendously relieved sigh when Jane breaks into a smile.
Oh, Jake.
He flails when she kisses him, but this time there's no doubt he hasn't said no. I don't know how
so-
I feel about this.
So that's... I'm gonna give that a -1 out of 10. Fuck that shit.
I don't like that. It's peer pressure. It's slightly rapey. I don't like it.
Well, they were both inebriated. It's
Also drugs.
But Jane brought along the trickster candy, knowing what was gonna happen. It was
she
planned.
knew.
Well, she had the candy. Where'd it come from?
I don't know. I mean, if it wasn't really his idea, then I would definitely say. And she clearly like remembers more of it than he
Jake-
does, so she wasn't nearly as intoxicated as he was.
Yeah, and Jake was already drunk when she showed up at his house.
So
Yeah.
here's my review read out. It is C12. Fuck that shit. This is just a worse version of that horny chapter in Meat. Seriously, fuck this. -1 out of 2.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
do that.
So now we got
Uncomfortable.
Dave and Gamzee.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I can't be much loud anymore, so
My throat actually-
Gamzee again.
My throat kind of
If I could
hurts.
do the- If I could do the narration for 14,
I mean,
it'd
if
be
your
awesome.
throat hurts, we can just
So someone
stop
else
for
can
a
take
moment.
Gamzee.
Alright,
Get some water.
Oh boy. Wait a minute. Is it Gamzee and Dave?
I can do Dave. That's a pretty chill voice, and my throat kind of hurts right now.
Alright.
Randy, do you want to do narration now?
Huh?
Jesus Christ.
You want to do narration?
Yeah, I guess I can do narration now.
Alright, let's go.
Alright. Dave and Dirk don't talk that much about the heavy stuff. They don't need to. Dave can hear his brother's voice in his head. Not like, literally. That would be insane. But Dave knows what his bro is like. Dirk, or a version of him, instilled in Dave a way of living and thinking that would, for better or worse, persist far beyond the first 13 years of his upbringing. And even on Earthsea, it'd be kind of tough to say the dude's general overbearing demeanor wasn't sufficient to perpetuate the conditioning. So it's rare he has to guess what Dirk would say he should do. But when it comes to the boondoggle involved with the triangulating his interpersonal relationships with Jade and Karkat, Dave is shooting blanks. He has no idea what to do, no idea what to say, and for once, the ghost in his head doesn't either. Once he might have expected the end of the haunting to come as a relief, but now that he finally sits quietly in his own mind with nothing but his meager faculties to guide his hand, the silence is deafening. There's no time to waste, so he flies directly to his bro's studio. He needs this. He needs his bro to tell him what to do. Whatever issues the guy might have, Dave has always been able to count on Dirk to give him, as Jake might say, solid dick. Dave knocks on the door, but there's no answer. Nothing when he calls out Dirk's name either. Then he tries the knob. Door swings right open.
Yeah, this is giving me some very eerie vibes. Some
Oh yeah.
some do 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 do.
I can't remember the tune. But
Do you not know what I'm doing?
No, are you doing something from Undertale?
No.
I was thinking Doki
Doki. Yeah, yes, it was Doki Doki.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Doki. I never played Doki. It went mainstream too fast.
All right. Well, let's not worry about it. Let's hope it's not this chapter.
Alright, whoever doing Dave, do Dave.
Hey,
It's gotta be Roxy because I gotta do Gamzee.
Hey, bro, are you there?
Still no answer. Dave lets himself in. It's not like his bro would actually mind. They're family after all.
Bro? Hey.
Silence throughout the studio. Dave starts
Flitting.
flitting from room to room, checking for any signs of Dirk. This is strange. The guy doesn't usually go out to do things unless those things are actively being televised.
Dude, are you gone? I have something I really need to talk to you.
Dave all but jumps out of his skin when with a shriek when he turns to find the last individual in the world he ever expected or wanted to see.
Honk.
Jesus fuck.
Hey, what's shaking, my man?
Gamzee, what the fuck? God, I think I shit my pants.
I'm sorry to hear that, my fine brother.
Gamzee, what the fuck are you doing here? Did you follow me here?
Nah, man, I've been waiting for you. Honk.
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh, that's so much better. Why the fuck are you doing that?
Because I'm here to bring you the good news.
The news of what?
The news of me, my motherfucker. I'm here to help you get all up and redeemed from your wicked sins. Put you on a real arc to salvation. Honk.
Oh my fucking god, what fucking sins? Where's Dirk?
There's no need to worry about him. You're gonna do what's best for you. He told me that, and I'm gonna make sure his wish makes like a motherfucking miracle and gets true. Honk.
Did I just walk into a horror movie? Did my bro get fucking axe murdered by a clown? Jesus Christ, don't tell me his body is down in the basement right now.
You don't got any need to get in concerning yourself with his mortal flesh body out here in this candy cane whirlpool beyond the infinite black wink of the wicked singularity, my ninja. A sack of meat and bones in one life or the next is only a means to the final totality that will damn and raise us all brilliant apotheoses, whatever that,
Apotheosis.
apotheosis. In the one true life, we all flow from the one true pen, and every head rolls down the path to the one true hand.
What the fuck did any of that mean? Are you drunk? Never mind, I don't give a shit. Out of my way, Pagliacci.
Pagliacci.
Pagliacci, what? I don't fucking care.
Dave's referencing Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
Dave has had enough of this buffoon. He pushes Gamzee aside, and the clown goes absolutely flying into one of Dirk's messy workbenches. The vagrant jester ricochets off of the disorganized piles of scrap metal and anime paraphernalia like a Tony Hawk jackass, clipping and flopping into...
It's just fucking rolling over everything.
Just put it through the wall.
The circus ruckus starts a vicious Rube Goldberg machine of cartoon physics, knocking every cinder block. Why are they crusty? A Japanese sword and a tornado's radius of off balance and avalanching them catastrophically onto the hapless clown's torso. Dave gives only a second glance to the ludicrous pandemonium. He blows open the door to the stairwell and heads down, bracing himself for the worst. But he doesn't find Dirk in the basement either. The only thing of note is a slumped figure in the center of the storage room, covered in a thin sheet. Dave approaches and rips it off to discover... Wait, what is this? It's obviously a robot, but it's a complete mess. The form is feminine, but the head is still bald and the face has no cover, revealing its skull-like interior. The body doesn't have any proper protective plating yet, so it's all a mess of wires and loose mechanical bits, clearly a work in progress, but Dave can't help but wonder what exactly it is that Dirk's been working on here. Then Dave notices the note, carefully folded in the limp palm of the robot's hand. His heart jumps into his throat and something in his stomach drops. Oh no.
Fuck, what the fuck?
I'm scared.
Oh shit, the next page is just a bunch of fucking reading.
All
If you
right,
want, I can read it.
wait. We have to
I volunteer
rate.
tribute. This is
we
my
have to-
favorite part of
Oh,
both
is it?
epilogues.
We have to rate
Well,
this one.
Yeah, you do. June's just gonna have to fucking make a choice, huh?
I am going to throw you into a car.
And go where? Where are we going?
I don't know. I just meant like at a
Where are
car.
we going?
Look,
Oh
just
my
throw
God.
him into my car and I'll
Where
drive
are we
into the
going?
ocean.
Going on a date?
Take
Oh my
this
god.
back
I'm good.
at the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Get
I'm good.
I don't really have a lot to say. Just Gamesy bad.
Wow.
Gamesy bad 0 out of 2.
Okay, second to last paragraph was really fucking funny though.
yeah, Homestuck does all the funniest bits before the most bits.
Foreboding atmosphere.
We ready. We fucking ready, yo.
I don't know if you're ready.
I'm ready.
I'm prepared to see a fucking like suicide note or something.
Holy shit, chapter fucking 15. Sorry.
Well, wait,
I
we're
was just
on
reading
we're on
through
13, not
to see-
14.
No, I know. I opened the page so that way I can just read it. But I'm not like actually reading it. I'm just like looking through to see whose voices we're gonna be reading
Oh boy.
because
Don't worry
I
about
get
it.
excited.
Just don't worry about it. We're not gonna worry about it right now.
Are we ready?
Okay, Dirk Kinney, it's your turn.
I'm the local Dirkkin here. Should I do a Texas voice for this?
Absolutely not. I will ban you from my Minecraft server if
Your
you do.
name is Dirk Strider. Your name is
God.
Dirk Strider.
Don't have me read it, don't.
And you know what you must do. The decision was made the moment John chose his course. This world has been set on a path you cannot tread. You stand beneath the Carapacian bell tower, poised to climb to the top. You've brought nothing with
What
you
the
but a
fuck?
long length of rope, coiled in your steady fist.
No!
The only thing that you need
Are you
is
fucking serious?
a
What?
You do not hesitate. Your legs feel impressively powerful as you begin to climb the staircase, 2 steps at a time. There is nothing of consequence but your singular task. You left a note, but you don't expect any of your friends to understand. It's not important that they do. A flip of the cosmic coin has rendered your entire life completely inessential. What could you accomplish in a dead-end existence like this?
That's
There
why
are
you
no
were saying
stakes,
cancel everything.
No meaningful challenges, no structures or themes, only residual chemical reactions in a dying brain, a physical system's obligate compulsion to exhaust its own lingering momentum, a cockroach with its head cut off, waiting to die of thirst. Halfway up the tower you take flight. Every second you waste here is a drain on the concept of existence itself. You whip up the hollow vertical shaft at the center of the spiraling stairs and erupt into the air beneath the bell. You land on the ledge overlooking the Carapace Kingdom below and cast a cursory glance over the landscape beneath you. Its beautiful scenery is a comical illusion of no matter to you. Get to work. Your hands move methodically to fashion the hangman's noose. It's a gesture you've practiced well. You bunch a section of the rope into an S and loop the end of the rope around its middle. 7 wraps, and you're done. You tie it off at the bottom, then tug the rope taut. The corrosion has already begun. You can feel the gears slowing. all the intricate, unseen mechanism coming unhinged from their mooring and drifting apart. Your friends might derive some sense of fulfillment from satisfying the elementary obligations of self-preservation and self-propagation, but there's nothing here for you. It doesn't matter anymore. There's a beam across the opening of the face of the bell tower that will serve as a convenient anchor for the rope. You toss the noose up over the beam, and then rise to fasten the knot. You ensure that it is secure. There can be no mistakes. You touch back down on the ledge of the tower. You bring the noose over your head and pull it tight. Your choice is not simply between that of life and death. It is between an ignominious dissolution at the hands of entropy and one final act of relevance that can bequeath your meager energies to the cosmic well from whence they came. In a certain sense, you've never felt so free. Kill yourself. You jump. A meaningful death would of course be quick, brutal, an expeditious descent, a splash of crimson at the base of the bell tower, a body that looks otherwise intact if you don't flip it over to see the dark mottled bruises where the fetid septic blood has begun to pool. You made certain that the rope was long enough for the velocity of your fall to immediately decapitate you. It slices through the air with a vicious whipping sound, unspooling in even silk-smooth rotations. Just as your epiphany occurred at sunset, your death must occur at sunrise to complete the Ouroboros of symbological harmonic resonance that is your personal arc. It is the very last moment of narratively consequential action that will happen in this whole barren world. The few Carapacians unfortunate enough to have their homes this early morning will have remembered this moment forever, but in reality it lasts only a second. The noise your cervical spine makes when it sunders is indescribably gruesome. Many of the bystanders who witness your death will later attempt to recount it, but there are really no words that can adequately express the sound someone makes when they die. It's a phenomenon that happens on two levels. First, there is a literal termination of organic process, which is to say, the destruction of the meat. Then follows the dissolution of the ego, and you have quite the ego to dissolve, one that has flown so high above the forest that not only can it no longer see the trees, it cannot even conceive of the trees as a material substance with objective meaning. Yours is the singularity of narcissism, an endlessly recursive existence so dense that it has no choice but to sprawl out much further than the boundaries of its person in any given universe or timeline. Once cut off from that, you become unbearably dispensable. From a purely utilitarian perspective, killing yourself is the greatest gift you could ever give to this dying world. A valorous sacrifice the likes of which this place will never experience again. If your severed head could speak, it might say, "You're welcome," but even then, maybe it wouldn't. You might not care enough due to this shallow realm, even that basic courtesy. You may never know. Your severed head remains suspended in the loop of the noose, tight under your jaw, while your limp body bounces off the side of the bell tower and tumbles to the grass. Screams sound from below. The horrified Carapacian bystanders scattered and run. Your body tumbles down the side of the hill, spraying blood from its neck in volume that makes the foot of the tower look like the scene of a massacre. Your heart keeps beating well after you're dead. It keeps beating until every drop of blood is forced from your corpse. A sea of gore drenching the earth beneath the sea of your demise. Your body doesn't get up. Your head doesn't open its eyes. When you think so little of yourself as a moral character, any act of self-termination will result in a death that is just.
Did they die?
Jesus Christ.
I hate this!
See, and that's what I was fucking wondering, if that was even gonna, like, actually kill him because of the whole, like, heroic just thing.
It's just
And then when
because he hates himself so much.
Yeah, and then when they just explained it, and they explained it that it was just, I was like, oh, fuck, damn. So he literally is dead.
End of Dirkstrider.
Here
I was
is
about to be like, what was the
my
fucking
review.
point of that if he was just gonna not die? But they fucking explained it.
-2 for my favorite page in the epilogue. Valid.
Whew.
It was
Well,
even good for me because I read Candy first, so I didn't know Dirk was what he was in Meat. I just knew he was someone who could see that this timeline had no point to it.
God damn.
well,
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this one, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, that fucking sucked. Like, it was really well written. The wording and shit was actually kind of
No,
beautiful
that was
almost,
like-
but
That
Jesus
was written
Christ.
super well, but at the same time, fuck off.
Yeah, at the same time, that was just it was bad. It was bad. That shit was bad.
Holy fuck, though. We got. There's a lot of people in this one. Like, let's see. We've got Gamzee, John, Roxy, Dave, Carcat.
What number are we going to? I don't know how much longer I can stay.
15. This is the last one.
Yeah,
we're
this is
not
the
doing,
last one.
We're not doing another batch of 5.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm doing Carcat. That's like guaranteed. But there's
Yeah.
a lot more than that. And somebody also like. There's gonna be some overlap. I think we
Yeah.
definitely have to have a unique person just for the narrative, though. At least.
Um.
Do you want me to keep doing whisper narrative?
You do get MZ again?
I can do a soft Gamzee. I can't
Alright.
get loud again.
Excuse me.
Almost, yeah, because fuck, I'm trying to think because like I can do obviously Carcat, but there's gonna be Jade, there's gonna be
This has
believe-
every single character except Dirk.
every single one because I didn't see it. Jake, is there Jake in here? Yeah, there's Jake in here as well.
It might not have a Kanaya.
Yeah, there's no Kanaya.
I don't see the Swiffer character.
Swiffer, yeah. Swiffer doesn't
Not
count.
everyone.
Swiffer doesn't get any more dialogue till the very, very end, I think.
Yeah, there's no. I didn't see any Rose.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I guess Rose and Kanaya aren't in this one.
I guess we'll have to figure it out along the way, but we'll still have Hadron do John. I'll do.
I can do the narration. That's the...
Why don't we use the
Yeah.
restroom while you narrate the first block?
I mean, John has like 5 lines in this, except for the end where he has more than 5. So,
I'm just gonna start. We'll just figure it
Okay.
out. The rain is coming down in sheets. It rains just seldom enough on this idyllic world that most of its inhabitants are conditioned to leave their homes without umbrellas. Today they're paying for it. The press clamors at the edges of the funeral procession, getting soaked to the bone and or exoskeleton. John ducks his head away from the flash of cameras, still uncomfortable with his position among the pallbearers. He didn't know Dirk all that well, but he couldn't refuse a direct request from a grieving bro. He ventures a glance at Dave, who was at the front of the line carrying a smaller casket containing Dirk's decapitated head. The actual casket is unusually heavy, not just because Jane insisting on having it crafted from the finest quality timber on the planet, but also because for some unfathomable reason Dirk is going to be buried with every single one of his shitty anime swords. It would be absurd were it not so tragic, and possibly also predictable. Gamzee fumbles with his corner of the casket when it comes time to set it down in the cathedral. Upsets the balance of the whole thing and sends it careening down so hard that the nose of it crashes right through the stage.
So,
It's motherfuckers.
okay, you're here. I thought you said BRB. But...
I'm here.
Okay,
Oops.
I'll do Roxy then, because she's narrating.
Okay. John already said his.
Yeah.
It's fine, guys. Accidents happen.
John presses his mouth into a flat line. He looks at Dirk's casket sitting diagonally in a hole in the floor and popped about 13% of the way open. A few shitty swords seem to have made a valiant effort to escape, but didn't quite make it all the way. He looks at Dave, who appears even more stoic than usual, with his wet hair plastered to his forehead. He looks at Roxy, who is staring at the floor, rather beside herself in grief. Then, finally, he looks back to Gamzee, who offers 2 dubiously sympathetic whoops in response. Today is not the day to push it, he thinks to himself. He forces a smile, kisses Roxy on the cheek, and goes to take his seat in the front row of the pews. At the back of the nave, devastated fans of Rumble into Pumpkin Patch are trying to force their way inside, past the barrier of reporters. Jane drags Jake off by the wrist to deal with them as Roxy approaches the pulpit, looking miserably ghost-like in her violet mourning clothes.
Hey, thanks everyone for joining me today.
She folds her hands in front of her. Her earrings light up. Her earrings light up as the reporters at the back take about 6 million pictures of her tear-stained face. She sniffs, then hawks back a whole mouthful of snot. The sound is very much in contrast with the delicate feminine manner in which she tugs a tissue right out of her modest cleavage in order to dab at her eyes.
Wow, now that I'm up here, it's like, I don't know. I have no idea what to say.
Of course she doesn't. Dirk was her first BFF, her first love, and at one time, the only other human being left on Earth. She rolls the wet tissue between her fingers.
And I guess that's Oz, because there's nothing to say. There's no words to describe how I feel about Dirk Strider. And even though he left a note that had hello words in it, they might as well have been saying nothing. Which is just like Dirk, I guess, to leave us with a load of bullshit and no idea why he did what he did. So I'm just gonna say that I'm glad that he was in my life and give it over to someone who's way more eloquent than me.
Dave gets to his feet, unwinding his fingers from Jade's. He walks to the pulpit with his usual smoothness, but pauses beneath the giant stained glass window to run the heel of his palm under his shades. The camera bulbs start clacking away like crazy. John whirls around in his seat to glare at the reporters, putting a finger to his mouth to shush them. He watches a tiny, white carapace chess guy sheepishly press the flash button on his camera as quietly as possible. It takes Dave a moment to gather himself when he reaches the lectern, but when he speaks, his voice is steady and even.
I can do Dave as well. I'll just do it in a different voice.
Okay.
Hey guys, want to apologize in advance because this is gonna get a little real. Realer than that 3/4 of corpse I'm standing about 2 feet away from right now. I mean, I totally hate to ruin everyone's mood on a day where we've gathered to think deep thoughts about how one of us just went and fucking off themselves. Not like we're gonna be stumbling through our lives constantly experiencing intrusive thoughts about this specific event or nothing. Hey, remember what our good pal Dirk looked like with no head? P hard to forget since getting decapitated was like his third favorite hobby. So it's not so much the body that's the problem, but the sort of existential realization of finality, I guess.
Wait a
So I ain't
minute.
gonna lie.
Wait a second. Isn't his whole fucking bit that he can decapitate himself and Dave can just go back in time and undo it?
It's in this chapter.
Oh, they explain
Dave
it?
talks about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why he's bringing it
And
up.
In the past,
Like,
it was
this
actually
is-
Jane who revived him, but you only get one extra life from
Oh, I see.
It's not so much the body that's the problem, but the sort of existential realization of finality, I guess. Though I ain't gonna lie, the body's starting to stink. Sorry all that shit I just said was a load of absolute bull, meant to deflect from the fact that I'm pretty shook about this. I used to do that a lot, like basically every time I opened my mouth. Most of you know this, but I had a kind of shitty childhood. Not gonna go into detail, but long story short, it was technically my good old bro dad here's fault. Not this specific version of him. The one I grew up with was he was.
Dave hesitates. His voice might be cracking, but it's subtle.
He was just an absolute bastard, no offense to the dead. Yeah, okay, sure, he taught me a ton of shit. That, if we're being generous, was in theory useful. But he didn't give a single solitary shit about raising a well-adjusted kid, or raising a kid in general. I was more like his disciple, and all that mattered was his grand design, or what the fuck ever. And I know Dirk struggled with, the idea that he could eventually become that kind of person, or even worse, that he was somehow cosmically fated to become that person no matter what he wanted or did to prevent it. That's probably how he managed to off himself in the first place, considering how the mechanics of God tier works. Maybe he had been struggling with that the whole time we've been here on Earth at sea. Who knows with him? He was always so inside his own head, I can't even imagine what insane train of thought led him to decide that this was his only option. But I don't think he'd want us beating ourselves up about it, or torturing ourselves trying to figure out what it is fucking meant. Especially Jake, Jane, and Roxy. He loved you guys, and wouldn't do anything to hurt you. Well, not intentionally, I mean. Anyway, all that shit about my bro, I'm over that. Like, as much as you can get over it. There's a subconscious response to certain stimuli you can't exactly rewire, but the conscious part of my brain is all like, shit, dude, I feel great. What the fuck is hypervigilance? I love being alive and having all these friends who care about me and don't beat the shit out of me every day of my life, etc. And part of that's because I got to be friends with Dirk. It was great getting to know this rad version of my childhood guardian who wasn't completely batshit insane, and like, just chill with him. Shoot the shit and freestyle and debate dumb crap without it being a federal fucking issue. And more than that, he treated me like I was on the level with him. He let me give him shit for being a pretentious blowhard every day of his life, which I did. But despite that, I looked up to him. The way I always felt like I should have been looking up to my bro. The way I wanted to look up to my bro, but couldn't. Dirk taught me so much shit I didn't know I needed from him. I mean, picking up Dirk's opinions was unavoidable if you ever hung out with him, considering he never shut his fucking mouth. But I'm glad he didn't. He taught me about combat, philosophy, life. I'm sure he had not killed himself the literal day, and I'm sure had he not killed himself the literal day I was finally going to ask him romantic advice, he would have taught me about love too. So in the end, I really got no idea how the fuck I'm supposed to feel right now. But that's probably okay, right? Like, it's okay to not know how to feel when someone dies. It's okay to not have all the answers. I wish Dirk were still alive so I could tell him that, but he's not, so.
Dave takes a deep, shuddering breath and actually takes his shades off to wipe away the tears that are pulling eyelashes.
I guess that's all I gotta say about that.
Jake is openly weeping by the time the speech is over. His face... Really? We're really doing this? This is a man's funeral.
That's actually how people cry. It's not supposed to be like...
I know, but
It's
you could
not
have...
supposed to be like, oh, it's in our titties!
There are so many other ways you could have wrote that. Anyway, she's remarkably composed, looking more irritated than anything that her gentleman companion is getting snot all over her attractively tailored power suit.
Now you can be upset.
A man died, and you're upset that your suit has snot on it. You fucking asshole.
There you go.
The sheer.
Dave leaves the stage, face turned away from the glare of the camera lights, and Roxy takes her place at the pulpit once again.
Anyone else have a eulogy they'd like to give? I think the best way we can honor Dirk's memory at this point is to spew an untold number of words into the void. As many as we fucking can.
Rose, who had been staring off into space with a peculiar expression on her face during Dave's speech, snaps to attention. She brushes Kanaya's hand off her lap and goes to stand, but is interrupted by the horrible squelching sound of Gamzee lumbering to his feet in his wet, oversized boots. He saunters up to the pulpit with the precise, lazy gait of one who's grown far too comfortable with a lifelong tendency of unwittingly inspiring others' contempt, and braces at arms on either side of the lectern. If inside this church there were an adjacent room full of wet dogs eating garbage, everyone in attendance would run to that room immediately to escape the stench emancipating from this smiling clown. Suddenly his expression distorts to become something which can only be described as a leer.
What's up on this most righteous and frowning of days, my bitches?
Oh my god! No one wants to hear anything you have to say, Gamzee.
You still got it, brother. My motherfucker of comedy's in the prey block. That mirthful noise you holler still slaps my man.
It's not a fucking joke.
Gamzee clears his throat quite loudly and abruptly, sending ear-shattering echoes throughout the church. Sounds like someone just threw a toilet in a wood chipper.
Ninjas and battle hoes, we gather up at this shrine of worship to whatever false idols or messiahs these homies get their devotion for. Well, that's okay, because we're motherfucking unified today, no matter what our bad and different beliefs out there. To our pied pans, we come in celebration of the life and death of the one and only a true choice piece of man bitch whom I hardly ever knew, the Duckster.
Boo!
And you might be up wondering what place have I got all orating on the subject of the legend of this fine fellow. That's a good question, my mirthful brothers. I may not all be up and learned about his life, but I've got deep spiritual connections to his death. It just so happens that fate brought me to his doorstep on the very day he went and motherfucking choked it off at the neck. One of the most spiritually awakening moments of my life. In a short time, he taught so much. This was no coincidence. It was a higher power guiding my path. These powers made sure that I would be there to receive Great Warrior's final message and relay it to you on this dark and dreary day of death. Honk!
The clown thrusts his hand somewhere beneath the waistband of his pants and starts obscenely rooting around. He retrieves a piece of paper, crumpled and soaked from the rain outside, and attempts to smooth it out over the lectern. The wet paper breaks apart immediately beneath his oafish clown paws.
Oh, shiz. I guess I'll gone up and wing it.
Dirk's close friends in the audience look on with anxious anticipation, eager to hear whatever important message Dirk had apparently handed down to Gamzee to be passed on. John can't seem to find that optimism himself. Gamzee draws a big, fat breath and begins his speech.
You ever wake up and sit down and drop a fat mood gaper, but your flesh body just ain't ready to go and duke it out yet?
John's words hang heavy in the air. He scans the crowd, silent for an uncomfortable while, as if his question weren't rhetorical and he were expecting an answer that will never come.
That's what life was like for the D-Man. A man born with a purpose, a plan, but the wicked ways of this world stole that away from him.
Oh God.
It goes on like this for some time. Members of the audience write out the clown's eulogy with an admirable sense of grit and determination. They're visibly reacting with full body spasms every time the preacher issues another punctuating honk or deeply inappropriate turn of phrase. Karkat continues heckling him all throughout. At one point, delivers no less than 30 uninterrupted instances of the phrase
Fuck you!
Throughout most of the eulogy, Roxy continues attempting to urge others to settle down and give him a chance, based on the many endorsements she's heard of his spiritual oration skills. But even she gives up on this effort when one especially boisterous honk results in Gamzee knocking over the lectern entirely, which he does not bother to pick up. Instead, he proceeds with his eulogy as if nothing had happened, while openly scratching an itch beneath his codpiece.
Oh my God.
At this point, Dave has had enough and exits the church. Karkat follows him. Gamzee inhales deeply, preparing to launch into what quite possibly will be the full body of his speech, rather than one or two mercifully concluding remarks. Roxy stands up and begins clapping loudly to bring a heroic end to the illusionary. Fuck that word. Fuck that word.
What word are you reading? Wait.
Elocutionary.
Illusionary horror show. What?
Wow, wasn't that great, folks? Well, just wow, I knew this guy wouldn't let us down. Bravo! Damn, I feel like I never heard another word this guy ever said. That'd be fine, because that was all just so perfect. Anything more would only dampen this perfect memory he gave us. Take a bow, Gamzee, and then, the exit's that way.
She nudges Jake.
Okay, dude, can you get up here and then say something that's like a palate cleanser?
Oh god, I actually can't. My throat is in pain.
Wait, who else could? I believe you were good at doing Jake's.
I was, but that killed my throat.
No, Sky. No, I meant Sky.
Gulp. Yeah, I can do Jake. This is it. He just says gulp.
I know.
Okay.
He was your best brother. Come on, man. Surely you got something in your heart to say.
Oh, okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Jake's turn. He's got a few words he'd like to say about our dear departed buddy.
Ezra, it's your time.
For hell's
What'd you say? For hell's
It's
sake.
your double hockey stick's sake.
Hell is a real place.
The thing about Hadron is that if he curses, he shrivels up into a plum.
A raisin.
A raisin.
Yes, which is like a plum, but like a
But
raisin.
smaller and
That's a lot,
drier.
but shittier.
I mean, a plum, no. Raisins are great.
It's So a raisin is just a juicy plum.
A raisin.
No,
No, what?
June, you've
Is there-
mixed that up.
Well, I said it was a smaller and drier plum, and you said no to that.
I said no. Raisins are great.
I don't think I'm not so sure about that. I'm pretty sure that
No,
raisins
I think you've got some selective hearing there, because that's
No.
what I heard.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
No.
Oh god.
John mutters a few imprecations under his breath and gets up before Jake can take the stage. He's concerned about Dave and heads for the exit, beating Gamzee there easily. Gamzee's strolling so leisurely, in fact, he's barely made it off the stage yet. John pushes out into the courtyard. The rain has receded into a light drizzle, which is nice, much less like being trapped in a high-pressure tower and more like being sprayed with a plant mister. He looks around the largely decorative graveyard and spots Dave and Karkat huddled together beneath an eave of the churchyard walls. John begins to move towards them, but he stops when he notices how close together they're standing. Dave's got his suit jacket unbuttoned and pulled over Karkat's head to shield him from the rain. Karkat's the one talking. His caterpillar eyebrows furrowed, but his gaze soft. Whatever he's saying makes Dave turn his face away. Karkat winds a hand in his shirt and tugs him. It forces him to make eye contact. They both go still, seeming to finally understand how close their faces have gotten. Now Karkat's fingers are brushing down the length of Dave's torso. Dave dips down so that their noses are bumping. Karkat's eyes are so wide it's amazing they don't pop out. For a moment it looks like they're going to.
Oh my
Jesus.
god!
Dave and Karkat jump apart like opposing magnets. Oops.
Oh, should I sneeze?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
Hi
you
guys.
do that on command? Holy shit.
Yeah, of course.
We're gonna need somebody to read Dave.
Y'all can't sneeze on command?
Dave waves dopily and hopes that he doesn't look as buffoonish and mortified as he feels. Dave and Karkat are still staring at each other from the corners of their eyes warily. Something silent and tense passes between them. They make a quick recovery.
Okay, anyone other than
Want me to
Roxy
do
who's...
Dave so you can do Karkat?
Yeah, because I have to do Karkat, and if
Hang
I
on.
read...
Hang on.
Sure.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
No, I gotta do I'm doing the shoulder thing on my microphone.
Hey.
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 Okay.
Hey.
You know the exact thing I'm thinking of, right?
I
You're
see that even
referencing that
you
terrible
couldn't-
movie.
I see that even you couldn't bear Gamzee's asinine, brutal, and 100% non-consensual assault on your listen craters, and also the basic decency which sapient beings apparently owe to one another on this planet.
No, actually, I listened to the entire thing. I have no idea why I did that. Now I have this whole memory in my head that I could have definitely lived without. I was just worried because you didn't come back. Dave, are you okay?
Dave glances at Karkat again. He smiles. It's a sad smile, but it's there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
go ahead.
No, but it's okay to not be okay about this specific thing, I think. So for once, I think I'm having like a totally unironic, normal emotional reaction to a thing. We're still back around to being okay. In fact, I'm probably the okayest I've ever been objective.
Are you sure?
That was half 100 words to express a 3-letter sentiment. I'd say he's doing fine.
Because I was thinking.
John chews the inside of his mouth and blinks down at his hands. Now that he's paused to think a little, what he's about to offer is a pretty weird way to console a friend after the death of a loved one.
Do you want me to go back?
Dave quirks an eyebrow.
Go back.
With my retcon powers, I could go back and stop him.
Dude.
John!
Dave says at the same time that Karkat shouts.
Yeah, sorry, that's why I said John.
Okay. What?
Do you not have an inch of goddamn sense in that thick fucking skull of yours?
What?
John, come on. What are my powers?
Time travel?
So you don't think I already would have done that if I thought that was a good idea?
Well, okay, yeah, obviously. But if you did do it, we wouldn't even know right now because it would just made a new timeline where Dirk didn't kill himself. That's how time travel works, right?
Well, actually,
Dave makes a wavy hand gesture that implies he's about to jump off into a rant about causality or whatever. John cuts him off.
But if I retcon it, then it's like it never even happened. We wouldn't have had this horrible funeral at all.
I don't know, dude. That's it's a little fucked up, actually.
You think so?
Yeah, Dirk was a complicated guy. Dude obviously had reasons to go for doing what he did. And if you go back and just rewrite his decision, that's like denying him his personal autonomy.
I didn't think of it that way.
John frowns. Dave opens his mouth to say something else, but he's cut off by Jade poking her head out of the church window.
Oh boy. Alright. Dave! Roxy's wondering where you are.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, be right there.
What about you, Carcat? You coming?
Yes, God. Can a man stand on a moist and dreary piece of religious property to help console his main bro? Jesus fuck, God forbid we upset the carefully orchestrated funeral programming, which just featured a segment wherein a deeply unpopular clown pissed himself in front of the clamoring paparazzi.
Oh, Lord, you dumb baby. Carcat, it looks to me like you're the 1/3 wheeling Dave and John's
Poignant.
what?
Poignant.
Poignant bro times. So why don't you get your butt over here?
Oh, fine.
Burkett stomps back towards the church, bickering with Jade his way across the graveyard. Dave adjusts his shades and puts a hand on John's shoulder.
John, I get what you were trying to do, but it's okay, dude. I'm okay.
John nods, swallowing hard. His throat is dry all of a sudden. Dave turns and walks back into the church. Once John is absolutely sure Dave is gone, he closes his eyes, breathes in deep through the nose, and raises both his hands. Nothing happens. John cracks one eye open. It's been a while since he's tried to do, well, anything more complicated than going out for dinner, to be honest. Has he just forgotten to how to invoke his game powers? John, do the windy thing! He thinks to himself. A brisk breeze howls through the graveyard, rustling some leaves off a nearby tree. No, that's all good. Do the retcon thing! He thinks much harder than he thought about doing the last time. Still nothing. That's right.
That's me. That's
Yeah.
weird. It was working just the other day.
He stares at his hands so hard his head starts to hurt. So hard that he doesn't hear the footsteps sloshing through the wet grass behind him. When Roxy taps him on the shoulder, he yelps and shoots 6 feet up into the air.
Oh, wow, John, it's just me.
Gun spins around to greet her. He hides his hands behind his back like he was doing something bad with them. Which he guesses he was, kind of. Roxy shields her eyes against the rain and laughs.
Is it okay up there, B?
I'm fine. Wait. B?
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 That was said with like the fucking inflection of the actual B emoticon.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Please. I know what I'm doing.
Press B to
God, you
pay.
both.
Press B to pay respects.
Oh God, no.
It's what Dirk would have wanted.
Yeah.
I guess I'm fucking. Where's B? There.
For
For
Dirk.
Dirk.
Yeah.
For
They were-
Dirk.
For Dirk.
Oh my God, you just had to Lord English it, didn't you?
Dude, I have the whole
Cease and desist.
Hang on, no, wait. We need to be all inclusive here.
For fuck's sake.
You're right. In case since the chat isn't in our call, what we did is we're posting a bunch of emojis.
Here, I got a better one.
Okay.
No, wait, hold on.
Now we're just posting Solix. Okay.
No, wait. I need to get my custom bead. Where is it?
I think
My
we need to
custom
move
bead.
past this part because honestly, I'm fucking sick of this. I just want to finish this page.
Okay, fine. You keep going. I'm gonna go look for
You gotta
it.
read what John
Yeah.
does.
John
What do you
lands
think?
softly, close enough to Roxy that she can slide a hand up his arm.
Yeah, like short for babe, because they're my baby.
Oh. Right.
John feels himself flush and runs an awkward hand through his hair. He's still a little embarrassed to show affection in public places like this. He slips a hand into the small of Roxy's back and feels a pain of guilt about what he saw transpire between Dave and Karkat earlier.
Is Dave okay?
Yeah, I guess. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Her gaze gets distant as she stares at something over John's shoulder. Whatever she's thinking about, it tugs a soft smile across her face.
Yeah, actually, I'm more than okay. Because I've been thinking.
No?
I found it.
Roxy starts dancing her fingers up John's chest.
About you and me, and this.
She bops him on the nose.
Hey, John? We should get hitched.
Ew, heterosexuality. John stares at where Roxy's finger is still pressing down on his nose and goes a little cross-eyed as his brain tries to process what she just said.
What?
What? John, come on, marry me.
Like,
John looks around the graveyard nervously.
This is moving fast.
right now?
Oh, I'll tell you, we're already at the church and everything.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No!
Oh my god.
They just had a funeral!
John.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Roxy starts laughing so hard she has to wipe away a tear. She leans in to give John a quick, chaste kiss on the lips.
No, John, you take everything so literally. It's fucking absorbs.
Is that why you want to marry me?
Yeah, I'm off the charts with all my jokes and shit. I gotta even all that out with this, huge helping of clueless nerd.
Roxy.
Okay, well, let's be serious here a moment. I actually do love you. I do love that you're so earnest. It's cute as fuck, and also, I always know where I stand with you.
Roxy.
Besides, this whole thing with Dirk, it's made me realize that even though we're immortal, we're not necessarily gonna live forever. Life's too short not to spend every moment with the one you love.
The word hits John like a sucker punch to the gut. He goes breathless with shock, adrenaline pumping through him, his blood rushing in his ears. Speaks his volume is hoarse.
You love me?
Yeah, John, I love you. Wanna marry you and spend the rest of my life with you and pop out a bunch of cute little buck-toothed babies with you.
Oh, haha. Wow. Roxy, that's a lot.
Wait, don't go answer right now. I'll just know it's on the table.
He doesn't know what to think. He so doesn't know what to think that he's spiraling inside his head, shaking all over, damp with sweat. Something about this doesn't feel right. Just a few weeks ago, Roxy was happy with Calliope. Now she wants to have his babies? John feels like he's missing something important here. Like he went for a bathroom break during the part of the movie where the plot twist happens. He should give Roxy some time. Get himself some space. It all happened so fast that it's suffocating. On the other hand, isn't that how love's supposed to feel? Like a quick plunge into cold water? Feeling that grows unexamined and that gets so big that the realization washes over you like a wave? Roxy's unbearably beautiful with moisture clinging to her eyelashes and a smile She's only smiling because of how much she likes him. She likes him so much that she wants to be around him every single day. John's stomach feels like it's doing pirouettes. His hands come up around Roxy's shoulders and keep going until he's cupping her face in both hands. He starts giggling at the cringe heterosexuality.
Hey. Okay. Okay, let's do it.
Roxy waggles her eyebrows.
Ooh, you want to do it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That too. But I meant about getting married thing. Let's do that. Let's totally get married.
Roxy practically attacks John's mouth. She's so excited. John shuts his eyes and kisses her back, and still giddy and laughing against her lips, she kisses him until they're both breathless, then pulls back so hard that she can gaze at him with glittering eyes.
Oh my god, we're gonna be so freaking happy.
They both then look to their right and remember that they are at a funeral, and realize that they just had this moment in a graveyard.
Yeah, that was like the whole off-putting thing about this situation. Is like a funeral just happened. Are you having no time
Well,
to grieve?
There's more things off-putting than that. This is happening really fast, and there's a moment where he does think about that, but I think there's something blocking them from like seeing this shit. I think it's the fact that this is all like in candy, and maybe like all their real reactions are in meat or something.
Well, you know what?
I don't know.
No, that makes a lot of sense because you remember how fucked up Candy is.
Yeah,
I've read
So,
all this, and I will my opinions to the end.
I want to know, should we stream the part of meat that I didn't stream?
You could.
Because, I mean, for me, it's kind of pointless because the whole project is to examine my thoughts on them. I think I will absolutely check out for M19. Like, I'll fucking take my headphones off for that.
Which one's that?
You can take a look for yourself. You can take a look at my
I'll take
review
a look.
thread. You can take a look at my review thread. And it'll be pretty obvious. And if not, you can take a look at the actual page. Anyway, we can do that if that's what we want to do. And that'll mean the last one for the meat pre-stream would have 6 chapters instead of 5 because I skipped 21 as well.
Wait, Meat 15's the action scene. What's wrong with
No,
that?
19. 19.
Oh, 19.
19. So I'm gonna say,
Come in.
Right.
long, monotonous, and cringe heterosexual.
It's so weird that everything's just going so fast. Again, I don't want to say any more because I feel like, because I've read all this stuff, absolutely everything. I feel like saying my opinions might be too late.
Just because you know what happens, then you might be spoiling something.
Yeah, that's a problem.
See, that's probably that's where I struggle with some things too. Like if I know something that's gonna happen, I really struggle with like voicing my opinion to people who like I'm showing it to.
Yeah.
I feel you there.
I don't want to be like, oh, don't get ready for what happens next, because I feel like that's even worse.
Yeah, because that's just bad. That's just like
Yeah.
oh boy, every 2 seconds.
You won't believe the twist at the middle.
And this was my rating.
Okay. Do you post it? Oh.
Oof.
Although it's interesting to read this again after a year of doing basically nothing related to Homestuck. Sorry if I sound far away, it's because I am far away. I'm leaning on this chair. Hope I don't fall. But
So that was a fun, long stream. I'm gonna go sit down and die
That's a good idea.
because these past 2 chapters are just
They're a lot.
they just fucking suck.
Alright, I'm gonna be checking out. I can't talk anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
end of the
Good one,
stream.
y'all.
Goodbye,
Y'all.
and let's go Power Rangers.